All right.
Piece of lint flying around. Irritates me.
So that's the first thing said on the stream now, Randy. Thanks.
You're welcome. I've done it again. Hey, I just did 100% in road events.
Welcome to Series of Eberron, everybody, where there's pieces of lint flying around
that irritate us.
Am I supposed to see something? I'm fucked. Yeah. All right. No, it's okay.
It's. Did you just refresh? That's the worst. You're gonna have to.
I had to.
You're gonna have to load that whole map again.
I know. So it's all good.
All right.
That map is so large that it made Foundry not work on my
Google
browser.
just told me my birthday is soon. Thanks, Google. Fuck off.
Did we help you?
Don't forget this thing that you care about. Maybe. Mm-hmm. All right. Welcome back to Spheres of Eberron, everybody. We were out last week because I had a very sore throat that probably was made a little worse by running a game the night before this one. And so the following day, as in last Friday, I couldn't really talk, like, much at all. It just sort of hurt. And I was like, I just won't talk all day. I'll just rest up and it'll probably be fine by game time. And that was not the case. So no game last week, but game this week. As far as questions or changes or that sort of stuff, no, I believe we went over your belladonna barrier. And so, because we kept talking about this, and this is a material imposition that Noah has, that he can add to his flashbangs, and he can also sort of add it to when he heals someone. If he adds it to his flashbangs, it works like a poison effect that drains a little bit of strength. It's not an ongoing poison effect. It doesn't drain strength each round. It just, boom, drains strength. If he adds it to his heal checks, if somebody is suffering from a lycanthropic shape change, they'll stop. And it makes things less likely to attack that person with natural weapons. So they get a penalty or they get a bonus to AC against natural weapons. It also halts poison. So if it used in a flashbang, it poisons people. If it's used to heal someone, it halts poison. We had to ask a lot of questions about how this works. I think we got it down now. Basically, if Noah heals someone and wants to use his belladonna barrier, he just has to spin his martial focus. If he wants to do it when he throws a flashbang, he just spins his martial focus. That was in the rules, but it's sort of like a throwaway line in the middle of larger paragraphs, and it was it passed us by a couple times.
There's a lot of options in Scholar.
There's a lot of things that Scholar can do, and it's weird. The other thing, and I'll sort of zoom out for this, is that what I'm using right here is the 3.5. No, this is actually I believe the 4th edition map of Corvair, and you can tell that it's the 4th edition map because they've added a couple extra things to the Moorland. But the scale up here is small. Basically, the original scale that was put into Eberron is about 3 times the size of what Keith Baker originally wanted. And I found that out a few days ago. So I'm going with this still because we've gone with this still. But basically what he wanted it to be is not so much these are a bunch of warring countries, but these are a bunch of warring nation states. He wanted it to be more like Europe than every country is the size of America. Which, as an American, feels weird to me because if we look down here at New Seer to Kinrun, New Seer to Kinrun is about 150 miles, using the scale in the map above. If we were to make it the size that Keith Baker originally had, it's only about 50 miles. So it's easily achievable in a day on a single mage bred horse or something like that. And So like 150 miles to me feels appropriate because that like I grew up in Colorado and Colorado has nothing. There's wide swaths of just nothing. And like when I would drive across the country, I would always end up driving through like Kansas or Wyoming, and those are other states that have wide swaths of nothing. But originally he intended it to be much smaller. And yeah, we're going to stick with this one because we have already sort of set the standard and we're 40 episodes in. So I'm going to keep the scale the way that it is up here. If we ever do a second Eberron game, I might change that. We might change it so that going from New Seer to Starlasker is only like a day and a half instead of like a 4 or 5 day journey. But not doing that for this one.
This was a really long-winded way to say that John doesn't like change.
No, it's not that I don't like change. Like if I knew that this was the scale, it'd be fine. I'm not changing it 40 sessions in.
Yeah.
Changing it 40 sessions in is weird. Like suddenly everything is closer. I don't like that. If I knew about it beforehand, totally would have done it. Totally would have made sense. In general, the things that Keith wants for Eberron are usually good and correct, and I like them. The only place that we really disagree is on how to pronounce Seer. He pronounces it as Siri, and he is wrong.
Yeah, that's wholly incorrect.
I would accept Kyre or Siri or whatever, but Siri that's not how you spell that. But Keith, if you're ever listening, I still like you and I forgive you for that. Which, by the way, guys, if you ever have a chance to go to like an actual gaming convention, Keith runs a ton of Eberron games, and it's really dope to see somebody sit down with no reference material at all and just shit out a bunch of lore at you. Like, and you go through this and this and this, and you see this and this, and it was just like, man, like this dude really knows the setting he made and has earned a living on for the last 20 years. I guess that makes sense. All right, so was there anything that anyone else wanted to go over at all before we get started?
Yes, I have no token vision.
I'll get to that in a second when we get to that map. I'm not on that map. I'm showing the
okay, fair enough.
of Corvair map. I have preloaded them all on the map where they're going to be doing some stuff because it takes a while to load that map.
I mean, you say that, but
and all right, so I think we're good to start then. So, welcome to Spheres of Eberrons, Jam Forks and Jelly Spoons. Let's get started. Last week we had an order from Prince Orgev saying that, hey, you guys need to all get on the road. I'm not going to be able to let some vampire who might be mind controlled represent our nation at this sort of landsmeet thing that's going on as they determine which way the rail's going to go. So, and he's like, Lumio and Delian and Quintus, the three of you are native sons of Seer. You're all fair diplomats. You need to go do it instead. So do what you can. Everybody talked to some people. They bought some stuff. Notably, Stalwart cashed in a debt with Lumio, telling Lumio that he has to acquire some Tinro paint for him. Tinro paint is paint made in the colors of and from the feathers of the titter sparrows that sort of inhabit the region. So it's pricey because the equipment is a little bit hard to or the materials are a little bit hard to get by. And then I believe it was Sharut was told that he needs to go seek out basically some sign of the passing of this large companion of Lieutenant Miodor. That was her cashing in one of her debts with Sharut. And she was like, find what you can. He had an amulet. He had a ring, a sword, a big axe, like if you can get anything that lets me know that he like did or did not survive, that's fine. I just need you to go look because I can't. And we also had Hasdul, Prince Orgev's spy master, spoke with Quintus and said, Haepton Irmalk is, who is kind of a smarmy noble of New Seer, is also going to be going to this thing. He doesn't necessarily have a vote. He doesn't necessarily represent anyone as far as they know. But, you know, the Seerans don't necessarily know Brailish politics. So he doesn't necessarily have a vote or anything. But he's planning something. And usually Haepton keeps all of his business dealings over here to kind of the west of New Seer. He sends a lot of things down to Silargo. He has a lot of stuff down here. He deals with the mines, that sort of stuff. For him to start going to Kinrun when something like this is happening, it's a little bit odd. So see if you can see what's going on there. Team gets on the road, and on the road they encounter a couple things. They see an Etten who's just sort of walking around smelling flowers. And by flowers, I mean the entire bush. Just plucked it up right out of the ground, shoved it in his nose. They see a disembodied, desiccated hand on the side of the road. They see a carriage that has been upended and impaled on a tree that's about 50, 60 feet tall. So Delian and Quintus went to investigate that. They also met a dashing quintet of Fae who just sort of robbed them on the road, telling them that they had to pay for their they had to pay to use the road, and the cost of using it was food, wine, or song, and they all paid, but they also had to pay for their horse. So even though there was only 6 people there, 9 payments were made. And after that, everybody continued going. And eventually, they all went to sleep, and Delian noticed, as his watch was kind of ending, that a little bit of a rain was kicking up. And so we'll actually start there, Delian, as you're like, everybody's sleeping in Dandarin's gigantic tent that takes like an hour to set up, because it's basically a pavilion. And you kind of hear this noisy wickering from outside, and you go, what the? And you peer out, and the noisy wickering is coming from the horses, who are getting rained on a little bit.
Delian will definitely just let them all go inside, because, again, the tent's massive, and they seem sentient enough to be like, hey, I probably shouldn't shit here.
It's a big enough tent to hold a trio of horses. It's definitely tighter now, but thankfully horses mostly just sort of sleep standing up. So, you know.
Yeah.
Also, some of the people in the tent already are small sized and take up less space.
Yeah. So you can bring them in, and thankfully at that time only about another hour or so passes. But as that hour is passing, the rain does start to pick up a little bit. So it started as sort of like that very hazy mist where the droplets don't even seem to be fully hitting the ground. And then it turns into sort of a shower by the time it's time for you to wake up everybody.
Okay. Well, then I'll just wake him up in traditional Delian fashion by taking a feather and just rustling it under their nose.
Okay. So I imagine doing this to Lumio, who he goes to first, produces no effect, but now Delian knows that.
Yeah.
Also, Lumio wasn't really asleep, so he's probably just looking at you while you're doing this.
Oh, yeah. And I think Delian has done this before, and will still include Lumio, because, he's part of the party.
Yeah. And then the group, I'm sure, wakes up to Dandarin's thunderous sneeze. Just this, like... rah, 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 rah.
As part of my sneeze, I'd like to make a sunder against the feather.
Yes. I'm going to just say that works. Everybody is up. You can all get ready. And, do your thing. If you have any daily preparations or anything like that, go ahead. Real quick, Andy, I don't see you in the game, so...
Yeah, I tried a couple of times. Each time it's like failing to load.
Really?
I think I've downloaded the map technically, but weird.
Is it giving you the non-responsive error?
No, it's like not even.
It's just going to 100% and then just... Huh.
Maybe try clearing your cache?
Maybe. It's trying to load road events again, so...
Yeah.
I will watch through the stream, as it were.
Okay, sounds good.
While he figures that out, I will make salves, and I will attempt to make... I'm going to make 3 salves and 1 bomb.
Okay.
I'm going to try. Basically, I only have to roll for the bomb. And I succeed!
You definitely do. All right, so Sharut does his tinkering. I don't believe anybody else
his maintenance
is necessarily a typical spellcaster. So there's no memorizing of spells, but there is, various practicing. Deline, I'm sure you read your book a little bit to practice some new light tricks. And then you guys are able to get on the road. And it sucks. It's just rainy, and it's not even windy. It's not like a full-on storm yet. There's just a lot of direct downward rain. The sky is mostly gray, even though it's morning. Can't even really see the suns. Can't really see any of the moons. It's just gray and rainy and just blech. And
so the weather this week got to you, John. Is that what you're saying?
I love the weather this week. I thought it was great.
Hell yeah, dude.
The weather this week is legitimately part of why we moved to Seattle. Because in what you have in Colorado is sun, and that's it. There's just sun in Colorado, and I don't like it.
Yeah. It's the same in Montana, only wind instead of sun.
It's the same, except absolutely different.
Lovely.
So, you guys are continuing along, and there's a point where you start to see the forest in front of you that makes up the point, that little crested bit of where the small road continues going on through the forest. But the guild road, the actual, we have laid a path, goes around it, and further up. You will also see that the small road ahead of you, you can see, it sort of looks like a stone and wood bridge crossing the river to get into this forest bit. You know that this forested area on the map is roughly triangular. And you have essentially a river coming down out of the mountains and a river coming down out of the mountains. And then they go up and they kind of encircle the little forest area. And then Moss Fork is right at the top of that. Moss Fork being the town in this region. Taking the guild road would be the slower way because it's a big detour around this area. But it would generally be the safer way. Going through the woods is the faster way, but you're also going through the woods. There's just a big forest right there. And, this is the area that Delian spoke of with it. It has the skeleton crew in it. And Sharut knows that on one side there's the faceless, and on the other side there's the the blue stone goats. So there are some sort of not necessarily natural dangers, but there are some groups that could provide some trouble there. So which path would you guys like to choose? Because the fork is coming up of, do you continue on the guild road, or do you cross the river and go into the woods?
I mean, Quintus is down to go to town, so that's.
I think it's gonna suggest that haste is required since we're already a day behind on our journey.
Sharut would like things to go faster. No reason.
No reason. What?
Paint it red.
If Sharut wants us to go faster, and we turn up the long way. No. Yeah. Dandrin will defer to the majority vote. Which sounds like is
faster is better.
Faster is better. All right. So you all
Patrick, Gwen, and
so
told they get a vote.
Patrick, Gwyn, and Smeech all get a vote. They vote to walk forward unless told otherwise. So I guess you walk forward over the bridge and through the woods. Dandarin, can I get from you a handle animal check? Are you rolling handle animal or are you rolling profession driver?
I'm rolling handle animal. Okay. However, so the thing is, the beast mastery sphere. If these are tamed creatures,
yeah,
I can just be like, do it, unless it's like a dangerous thing.
This is an actual dangerous thing.
This is a dangerous thing.
Yes,
okay,
this is an actual dangerous thing.
Okay, because you've made me roll for normal things before.
All right, so that is enough. You guys are about 3/4 of the way across the bridge that's leading into the forest. When Dandarin, off to your right, towards the mountains, where you see the rest of the river, there is a gargantuan wave coming your way. And you see it and go, and manage to kind of snap the reins. And you snap the reins, and as soon as the snap happens, Patrick and Gwen go, speed, and they just, and they go. And what you see behind you is this massive wave. Well, you less see it because, you're in front. But what you hear behind you is this massive wave slamming into and taking out the bridge.
Mm. We didn't stop and appease the naiad, I see. Did you want to maybe do that now? So that when we come back, maybe we're on good footing?
I wasn't aware Naiad was guarding this river.
Oh, I was fairly certain we'd had that conversation, but...
No one told me. You might have had it in your head.
Also, it makes little sense to appease.
Did you tell Delian to tell me?
I trust Delian with information when he knows his life is on the line. I think that's reasonable and fair, and has
Did you convey that his life was on the line?
Hey. We didn't throw anything in the water, so I say we didn't.
You know what?
Upset.
Pause for a moment, please. I'll take care of this. Quintus is going to get out of the back of the wagon.
Okay.
And he's going to head down to the river.
Okay.
And how best to do this? To communicate with something that's water-based, it's probably best to mimic the traits of water. Quintus is going to pull a mirror out of his backpack and hold it over the water surface so the river can see itself. And then in Sylvan, he's just going to start like a very formal apology, and ask for patience and for what needs to be done to set this right. Because this was absolutely a trespass, and needs to be resolved.
Okay, give me a diplomacy check, and give it to me at a -4.
There is a check.
Tell me what you got. I'm loading the page right now, so it's taking a second. I'm
a
putting down all of your tokens. Did you say a 10?
That is correct.
Oh, hold on. This map may be too big because Foundry just got real mad.
Yeah, Foundry's been getting really mad.
Oh, I can't.
If you
I can't
if you
select
close
things
away
anymore.
to the
Hold on. It's loading for me. It would be annoying if this was too big, because, man, this took a long time to put together.
best laid plans of mice and men.
Oft gone again.
I will happily work with you to properly resize those images
In the best program.
in the best program, which is not Paint.
It is absolutely Paint.
You are a heathen and a Luddite, and your opinion should not be trusted.
What other thesaurus words can you throw at me?
Oh, hold on. Did you want actual? I'll
Fuck it
just
up
go
for
look
me.
it up.
I'm gonna have to reload.
Oh no. Oh yeah.
Alrighty.
Suarez, how do you not know the word Luddite? I'm gonna take special pride in that. Not that I should.
I know Luddite. I
Yeah.
just wanted to hear you use more Scrabble words.
Scrabble words. Wow. What, do you not use English? Like,
No one calls
No.
someone a Luddite.
that's absolutely not fucking true.
I call people Luddites all the time.
Just
Noah
in defense,
does it,
I have
you
called
know-
people's Luddite.
If Noah does it, then you know that is like the lowest common
That's like
denominator.
calling
That is
someone
a
a
word
rectum
used by the
instead of an
basest people of society.
That is like
There's a
someone
low bar here.
Hold on, shut up. That is like calling someone a rectum instead of an asshole. No one does that.
What's your alternative to Luddite?
Idiot.
Probably just
Luddite is very specific.
It's not. It's not specifically like. Yes, I could call him a technophobe, old-fashioned, egregiously old-fashioned. But like, I have called people Luddite. I've unironically done it. It's a fun word.
Well, I had to reload, so you will probably all have to refresh. I apologize for that.
Oh God.
Yeah, it got mad at me.
The provided administrator access key is invalid if you've forgotten your configured password, of which I don't have one.
Now try again.
There we go.
Anyway, Quintus,
Yeah.
you get bodied into the side of the wagon by the river.
Uh-huh.
The water wraps around you and slams you hard into the wood. Go ahead and take 14 damage from this, and then be prone next to the wagon.
Okay. For what it's worth, Quintus is not, like, when he realizes what's going on, like, he just goes limp. He's not fighting it. He knows that the Naiad's pissed, and this is just what's happening. So, like, he, more than probably the other people here, he gets why this is important. So, he just does that. And prone, unless he gets slammed by the water again, he's gonna go back, just by the water's edge, and he'll say, "That was perhaps deserved. I understand. I come from the court the towers that were once sincere. I know of your people. Mine were irresponsible, and that's on us to own up to. But I would make this right if we can."
You have already failed your check. You have failed.
Yes, I understand that. I, as a player, understand that. Quintus is doing what he does.
Okay, so what happens here, if Quintus pushes it, is that the river once again swells up into two great hands that pick him up. And this time he doesn't get so much slammed into it as he literally gets chucked against the wagon. Like, you are airborne, and then suddenly you aren't, and the wagon is there once again. Go ahead and take another 14 damage.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, it's gonna pop his head outside of the wagon. How goes appeasing river?
Well,
Motherfucker. I like literally can't do anything. It sucks.
Quintus will cough and, holding his bruised ribs, well, this is why we needed to do this correctly the first time. I'll gladly leave it up to one of the rest of you to work on handling this situation.
Well, sounds like we're moving forward.
Yeah.
Get in wagon. He's just gonna kind of yell at Quintus.
Oh, he does.
Making more work for Sharut.
We wouldn't have had any route if this had been done properly.
Well, next time, make sure the driver knows.
Sharut's job not to appease River. Sharut's job to heal you when banged up.
We were on a bridge, right? I don't know how we
There
offended
was a
the
bridge.
spirit.
So you were on a bridge. Now that bridge is no more, and you are on the other side.
Yeah, I just don't know how we pissed off a naiad.
Because we traveled over her river without asking for permission in the first place. We entered her territory without recognizing that and owning up to it. And for the Fae, that's a big shit. Like that's not cool things. So.
No, I was just trying to figure out, if that was a problem. I figured the bridge would have been blown up a long time ago.
Well, there's this nice road to town that people take.
Anywho.
Yeah, so taking this path is the expedient path, which is why like people on a rush and willing to risk the danger will take it, but it's not the guild road. The House Orion guild road will actually go to the town and then come back around. So yeah.
I get that. I just needed to clarify is all.
Gotcha.
Charut will heal Quintus.
Okay.
And he's gonna grumble the entire time he does it. Charut, no understand why a piece. Bridge already broken. Can't go back. Yeah. Bruce. He's gonna like poke it a bit. No, this right. Yes. Hang on. Foundry is.
Oh, that's a fantastic point. At that point, Quintus is like, of course, I understand. Yes, your people aren't familiar. You're still coming to grips with national disputes and borders and the concepts that the rest of us have been working with in civilized society for quite some time. I understand. It's quite confusing if you've not lived within that space. I can help you, though.
Do you want Sharut to heal you?
Well, yes, of course.
Stop talking.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it. And for Sidna, we'll kind of look at you and be like, just that. Yes, pain is a very good motivator. All right, and so for Lumio, and for Dillian, Dillian's AFK at the moment, and for Quintus, if any of you would like, can you please give me a knowledge arcana roll or a spellcraft roll? Either of those would work.
Maybe.
Can I get a token?
Yeah, I'm putting it out now. There you go. Can you see on the map?
I still can't shit.
Now I have vision.
Everybody should have vision. Everybody has a dude on the map.
All right, I'm loading the link in a different thing. We'll see if that works.
Yeah.
New browser time.
Like I can't even open Quintus's sheet.
I'm showing that you're not even in the game at the moment.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just me, and I don't have token vision.
But you should. I put down your token.
I have a token. I can see. I can't access my sheet.
Travis, did you reload when John Eric reconnected?
Yeah, every time he does, I try to reload.
Yeah, what I'm seeing is that Travis is the only one that's actually in the game.
Weird.
Because I'm seeing you, me, Justin, and Travis.
Okay, let me Jelly Spoons, we try to avoid these technical difficulties, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the end of last session, we did have this map load in, and we were able to use it. So.
Yeah.
Were we?
Oh, that's right. We were.
Because he wanted to show us the concept of the modular maps.
Yeah. And then he accidentally downloaded all of Space Time. Accidentally.
So, like, the weird thing is that it's not even... It's really not that big. Like, it's really not.
File size might be big, even if the physical dimensions of the map is not, though.
Yeah, what I'm thinking is, like, it's the running Foundry and Foundry trying to calculate all of the different maps. Like, that's the main issue.
No, not that one.
Let's just start. Okay, so I have access to my sheet. I still cannot see anything. But we'll roll 2 of these, because why not?
Weird. Because you're on the map, and your token's out.
I have had this... Chrome has crashed twice while trying to load this.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of mine freezes and then kicks over. No map, but I'm able to access everything else.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, give me a second here, and I'm going to... I'll just make a new one.
should we pause stream while this happens?
It'll be quick.
Okay. You know, Andy, food sounds nice right now. I think I'll do the same. And then you have Travis just petting his cat. Yeah, so cute.
There you go. Everybody is now on a map that has much fewer intensive graphics.
I'm just going to reload that entirely. Take a look.
Yeah. Apologies for the weirdness there.
That happens, man.
Yeah, like it sucks. Like I wish that it would have, you know.
That was instantaneous loading.
Yeah. I'm not surprised.
Oh, hey, there it is.
I was muted for that funny comment. Oh well.
A3 FAV no grid. Ding. All right. Well, you guys are.
Let me go ahead
There-ish.
and do that heal check.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and do a heal check there, Noah. Everybody should be able to load it. I won't load road events again. I think it's just too much map. Like,
It's a cool concept, but the program can't handle it.
yeah, I don't think the program can handle it, which kind of sucks. But hey,
You're good.
Hey, cool.
You're real good. So minus 15 plus 1. Basically, that's 16 times 2, 32.
I'm making an attempt at a Arcana check.
Yeah, go ahead and make that Arcana check. All right, Lumio, you made it. Quintus, you did not. And Delian, if you would like to make the Arcana check, go ahead.
What am I making an Arcana check for?
I will tell you if you make the Arcana check.
Okay, fair enough. Sorry, I've been loading things, so my mind is up.
That's fine.
How about them apples?
How about that particular apple there, son?
It's a bright and shiny one.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What you see, Delian, and what you see, Lumio, is the control water spell being used at, or an ability that mimics the control water spell, at least, being used at a fairly high level of skill and an extremely high level of power. Lumio, you're able to identify the use of the spell, and actually with your roll, Lumio and Delian, the two of you are able to identify that if necessary, this couldn't just lift the gnome, this could lift the carriage. Just given the size of the hands that just lifted up Quintus and chucked him at the wagon.
Oh. I guess we should steer clear of that river.
Yep. And we mosey on.
All right. So, can I get from everybody a fortitude save? For Dandrid and for Sidna, you will be rolling at normal. For everybody else, you'll be rolling at a +4.
Oh, well. I guess that's a 11 for me.
That's a 22 for Lumio.
What the fuck is this?
That's never happened before.
Look at that nonsense.
Ow.
Damn.
All right. Man. Okay, so Sharut and Quintus.
Oh, fortitude. I fucked up.
Sharut and Quintus, the two of you are, so it's kind of cold and it's kind of wet. It's a covered wagon, but after 2 hours of just extensive rain, even the cover begins to leak a little bit. Or every now and then when the wind does pick up, it just sprays a bunch of water on you. You're just sort of miserable at the extreme cold that you're feeling. And the two of you are fatigued until you can get warm.
Sharut is going to start digging through his bag.
Okay.
And he's going to pull out the cold weather gear.
Okay.
Toss it on.
So the cold weather gear won't necessarily help here because you're not just cold. You are also wet.
I'm also wet.
You are also wet.
The idea is to not continue to get more
colder.
Wet. Yes.
Okay. This I'm gonna say that normally a cold weather gear gives you a +5 versus being like fortitude saves for weather. I'm gonna say this is only gonna give you a +2 because even cold weather gear, if soaked, doesn't really do much for you. But sure, you are currently fatigued, and everybody sees as you're going through these woods, and you're kind of like, this path is occasionally cobbled, occasionally not. Occasionally the cobbles are not cobbles, they're bricks or they're stones of different kinds. You're recognizing that some of these are like old Edarin human roads. Some of them are old Dakani roads. And it just kind of goes and goes. But eventually everybody notices a small house off to the left. This is the first sign of actual like civilization that you've seen here. There is a small. It looks to be one of those houses that is so small that inside it's probably only one room. The windows appear to be boarded up, but inside you do see light that's kind of flickering, indicating it's probably firelight. And there is... You don't see smoke because it's raining, so you wouldn't necessarily see a smoke trail, but you do smell that kind of like mixing with the petrichlor of the constant rain is that scent of like wood fire. And yeah, everybody sees that off to the side.
Do we want to take a gander, see if they're hospitable sort?
Well, we took the fast route because ostensibly speed was what was necessary. Are we not committed to that idea anymore?
Oh, I'm fine with carrying on. That doesn't bother me at all.
There'd be no shelter. Sorry, Sharut, please continue.
Carrying on may be fine, but may be good to get out of cold for spell.
Oh, well, that's something that's actually doable without needing to stop if we need to.
And I was going to say that the stop would do no benefit to our horses, which would inevitably be worse for the wearer.
This is fair point. Onward.
If someone hand me my bag.
Oh, certainly. Here you are.
Aaron's going to pull out his pair of traveling cloaks, and he's going to hand one to Frisindna, and he's going to put one on himself.
Okay. I mean, she'll take it. Why not? And, yeah, she'll, like, wrap it around her. She's already just kind of, like, and sort of doing this thing where she kind of, like, has the shield on one hand, and she's leaning back in such a way that it's not preventing most of the rain from coming down, but it's keeping her slightly drier. But yeah, there's only so much you can do if you're sitting on the front. All right, so you guys ride on, it sounds like?
Quick question. Can Lumio stand behind her?
No, there's not enough room for that. I mean, you could stand in the, like, covered portion, I guess.
Mm-hmm. See, Lumio's got this big hat that kind of acts as a rain cover, and providing a slight thing would be...
No, there's no way for him to do that, unless he wants to just give her the hat.
No, I think it's attached to him.
It's just
it's grown in. It's just
taken
organic parts.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So it sounds like you guys ride on.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Right on. All right.
As the decision to do that is made, Quintus is going to briefly open himself up to some of his other abilities and gain the nature sphere, or the weather sphere. My apologies.
Okay.
And so within the using control weather with a duration of concentration, which he'll gladly do to keep out the cold, within the confines of the wagon, the weather, let's see, we're going to go for cold. We're adjusting for cold because I'm assuming that is the severity we're looking at. Mm-hmm. I can adjust the severity, it looks like, by 3 steps as a first level caster, since that's about as close as I can get. So are we looking at severity 3 right now in terms of cold? It is cold, it is not severe.
It is just cold, it is not severely cold.
Okay, it is now cool inside the wagon rather than cold.
Okay. So,
and that will last as long as I concentrate on it, even though the ability itself goes away after a minute.
That doesn't sound right. Like, if you lose the ability...
It's an ongoing spell effect. Losing the ability to cast the spell again doesn't change the fact that I'm concentrating on it.
I'll allow it, but I disagree. Like, I think if you no longer have access to the ability because your minute of temporary connection has worn off, then you can't concentrate on it anymore. But yeah, I'll let it happen for now. All right. So as everybody continues on, the sort of straight paved bits of the road are becoming a little bit less navigable. And then there's points where there isn't really any straight or paved bits of the road anymore. They're just twisting and turning and. Can I get from whoever's our navigator a navigation roll? You know generally which way you want to be going. You're going east, but let's see how well you get there.
I don't think we've ever done this before. Navigation rules.
Generally speaking, it falls under survival, so
Yeah.
I think that's Sharut's.
The Dandrin, since he's driving, will assist. He'll try to.
Okay, you can try to assist Sharut. Go ahead.
Assist Sharut.
Okay, +2. 24.
All right, Sharut.
Pretty good.
Yeah, you're able to sort of, you see like there's a fallen tree over here, and that kind of blocks off this bit a bit, and then there's, like the water has kind of rained out this bridge, and it's flooded, and that blocks off that one, and you turn them back and forth for a bit, but you don't lose that much time because you sort of have studied this area and know where to go. You guys do a little loop, get back on the road, and then from everybody, can I get a perception check? For those in the wagon, this would be at a -2. Damn, Dandrin. All right. So, not Lumio. Delian, yes. Sharut, yes. Dandrin, yes. And Quintus, yes. So, most importantly, not Lumio.
Yes.
The rest of you see... you see something that appears to be a wagon that has been smashed to splinters. And by smashed to splinters, it is not just on its side, but it's on its side, and then the side that would be on top is just also on the ground. It looks like something literally like slammed into the middle of this thing and reduced it to rubble, so that only the sides are up, and they're only really up because they're kind of leaned against the tree. The wheels are shattered. Everything about this is just blech. You also see around here a couple of bodies. There's looks to be some like things in here that are kind of like off to the side on the road, sort of deadish, that everybody but Lumio can spot.
Do the corpses have faces?
Let's see. What'd you get? You got pretty high.
20.
Yes, the corpses do have faces.
Okay. But it's not those guys.
It's not those guys.
Does it look like it was a goblin raid?
From this distance, with your check, you can tell, no, it doesn't look like it was a goblin raid. You're not seeing those sort of, arrow fletchings or anything like that.
Dandrin's gonna kind of look around and just kind of see if he can spot anything, maybe like an ambush.
Sure. Go ahead and give me a... Well, you already got your perception check. You're not spotting an ambush with this. Like, this is a road thing that you've seen. However, actually, give me a survival check. That would work.
All right.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. You notice an area near the wagon where the ground has been really churned up, just kind of roiled, and it looks way muddier than other parts that you've seen nearby. Like, even giving the fact that it's just raining a lot.
There's a strange mud spot right near the wagon. Do you see it?
Yeah.
Looks like it's been churned.
Sure can see, yes.
Mio, Quintus, do either of you know of any creatures or beasties that might like to burrow in the mud? Lay in wait?
All sorts of creatures. There's
Anything that could do something like, and he'll just point to this destruction.
I mean,
I'm sorry, my lenses are fogged up. What's going on over there?
I
For God's
don't get
sakes.
the concept of wiping my eyes.
Sure, like pulls out like a little rag from his virgin's vest and just.
thank you. So, Dandrin is asking what could have done this, but maybe the better way to frame that question is what in this region would be would have been able to do the thing that we're seeing. And so, with that in mind, I'd like to make a knowledge local check.
No, doesn't apply.
Okay. Nature.
You could give me. Actually, I believe this is a knowledge arcana check. If you would like to make a knowledge arcana check.
Oh.
Nothing comes to mind.
Any case should check for survivors. Yes?
Well, at the very least, we should check them for identification papers. See if they have any personal effects that we can deliver to the next town.
We could do that.
Sure, it agrees. And turns to Delian. Could have items of worth. No longer of use to them.
Yep, no longer of use to me if my life's on the line. You saw what happened there? Just imagine a body having that same thing happen.
Sure.
You don't have to imagine it, there's the bodies on the ground.
Yeah. See? Like, I don't even have to think that hard. It's right there.
Blunt trauma.
It's bad.
That looked like scratch. Not bad. Sure, we can heal.
All right, buddy. Then feel free to go over there.
Yeah.
It looks like they needed assistance.
Well, Sharuk can heal. You heard him.
Yeah.
Sure, we can
Yeah.
heal.
You said it yourself.
He had been killed. He just loads a vial of like true resurrection and just dunk.
Sharuk can heal. It's fine.
Sure, we can heal.
All right. So, who's going over there?
I mean, Sharut will go over there, but he would like somebody, a couple people to accompany him.
I would like someone strong and muscly, please.
Yeah, please.
Dandrin will go be strong and muscly.
Could someone with girth please come with me? I'm looking
Someone that looks like a better snack.
I'm looking for someone who could legally be defined as a beef boy.
Dillian is the only one canonically who looks like a better snack than Sharud.
That's true. I was going to mention that.
Honestly, that's very true.
Canonically,
the streak is shown.
Canonically, that is
Nobody's
true.
a snack like him.
I believe every time I've had to randomly roll to see if something goes after anyone, it always picks Delian.
Canonically, I said it, I meant it.
You did, and that's why Delian's staying right put. He knows. He knows.
I am tasty.
So
I look real good.
So
Everyone else looks like Campbell's.
Dandrin's gonna go wipe some sweat off of Delian's brow, put it on his shield so they get a good scent of Delian, so they'll know.
Oh yeah,
to associate.
that's real smart. Okay, so what you all see, for those going, which I believe again is Sharut and Dandrin.
Sounds like it.
Okay, so Sharut and Dandrin, you start moving over there, and what you see is a wagon that, number one, like I said, the wagon is not intact. It's basically a U shape, like something smashed out the inside of it after turning it over. And then you see that there's a couple of other spots that kind of match that same sort of shape, where something has smashed into the ground and then rolled around, sort of like a hog wallow. So you're seeing that, like, now that there's a lot of rain, it's actually kind of like the spots are just real, even churnier. They're really thick, the mud. And looking at the bodies, Sharut, if you'd like to give me a heal check. Dandrin, if you'd like to give me a perception check. Sure. So, Sharut, these bodies that you see, these people are dead. They are very, very dead. They were, from what you can see, it looks like they were torn apart by something 3 to 4 times the size of a horse. It is, and you're able to kind of confirm that when Dandrin finds a footprint that is sort of in some gravel, or kind of just crushed a rock, more like. And that footprint is, Dandrin, if you were to sort of lay down, it would be your whole torso. Looks to have 3 front claws with one sort of side, or 3 front toes with one side toe. Looks to be really flat too. It's really wide, really flat. You also notice, Sharut, you are able to find this sort of on the other side of the wagon. There's body of a horse. And when I say the body of a horse, what I mean is that you find the head of a horse. And looking at where the head was severed, with your impressive heal check, you are able to discover that it was severed in what appears to be a single bite.
How many bodies are there?
The bodies that you see, there's 4 that you see. 2 of them look to have been pasted, like literally like crushed and squeezed.
Okay. Sharut is. Sharut's gonna look over to Dandrin and say, "Shut the area immediately. Grab bodies. Pull away. Quick."
Dandrin's going to clear the bodies away as much as he can. Like the ones that are goo, he's just going to see if he can pull identification papers out of the pockets.
And Sharut's gonna basically grab one of the intact bodies and pull it away.
Okay.
Like, he can't help you.
Sounds good. All right. So the 2 that have been torn up, their identification papers are actually just kind of torn up with them. Strangely, the ones that were sort of crushed are the ones where you can get something that actually kind of works, because paper is already pretty flat. You are able to pull out identification papers for Bryn Alik and for Brecker Alec. Who are both traders out of Rowett. Their papers show them as being... I don't know why I'm Zmeech.
Zmeech is talking! I was just about to mention it.
Their papers show them as being central out of that particular location. It's sort of like over here is where you see it. Then, not Sharut or Dandarin, but for everybody else, can I get a perception check, please? This would be a perception check, since the group is already sort of alerted, at a +2.
Hey, you know what that does for me? Doubles my score.
And he still sees nothing.
God, my eyes are so foggy all of a sudden.
Okay.
Moisture? What is this?
So not Lumio and not Quintus, but Delian. You see something that just it doesn't make sense to you. And what you see, it's sort of like, so if, hold on, let me see if I can actually put everybody on the wagon over here. But I have Dandarin is over here checking out the thing, and Sharut's over here checking out the thing. Luma's over there, and I'm gonna say, like, Delian, you're just on the other side of the wagon, sort of looking out, and you see this thing that doesn't quite make sense, and you see it kind of go like this, and it's just coming around.
Like,
and you realize what it is. It takes a second. You realize what it is as it's moving through the ground. It's a fin. You see a fin, like on a shark.
Mm-hmm.
And you just see it sort of moving.
Guys,
Yes.
not to alarm you, and I'm not saying that the ocean's scary enough, but there's a shark circling our wagon, and I don't know about you guys. See, I know, but the horses, they might look quite tasty. I don't know. Anyways, back to the wagon, please.
That's reasonable.
Quintus.
Cue to leave.
What kind of madness?
Dandarin and Sharut, what do you do when Delian says this?
Ender will calmly walk back to the wagon.
Sharut?
Oh, ooh, yeah, that makes more sense.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, walking with Dandarin.
Okay.
Can I impale you guys with a hook shot while the entire company braces, and then hook shot you back onto the wagon?
Dillian, they're all
thought
bigger than
process
you.
makes sense.
That's
'Cause
why I
it's
said
like-
the whole team helps me out. There's
Okay.
no way.
So, move you back right there. And so, Dandarin, you get over. And Sharut, you're standing here. Because, you have to, like, climb up the steps in the back, whereas Dandarin's climbing up the steps in the front. And you're sort of, like, standing here, and this fin just goes... And you see the ground kind of split a little bit. As a fin that comes up to about your knee, just sort of, like, crests a little bit and then goes back down.
He's going.
That's Sharut's wrong. Once the fin has...
Sharut, can I get from you a will save, please? This is versus fear, if that wasn't obvious.
I wonder why that would be a thing.
That rubbed me the wrong way.
Just rubbed his knee the right way.
All right, Sharut, you are shaken for the next 3 rounds. And I say the next 3 rounds because this is going to be when the creature emerges. And so...
At which point it automatically upgrades.
It's a bullet.
Oh.
It's French.
Can I also get...
It's boulet.
It's boulet. I call it
French. I'm sorry.
I understand.
Creme brulee.
I understand that some people will pronounce it as bullet because they're sort of shaped like a bullet. I've always pronounced it as bullet, so I will be saying it as bullet. If you say it as boulet, you will take 30 damage every time.
I'm sorry that you're wrong.
Fuck your smart
What if-
nonsense. It is not a boulet.
What if, and I'm just asking this as a point of order, I call it a Robert Boulet.
31 damage.
Thank you. I just wanted to make sure.
Can I also get Dandarin to make me 2 rolls, a d20 plus 1, and can I get Travis to make me 1 roll at a d20 plus 1?
Oh, okay.
What is that nonsense?
Okay.
Well,
Would you?
Oh no!
Does this game fate me to be eaten?
So,
yeah. Yes.
Dandarin, you haven't fully found your seat when the bulette crests out of the sand, or out of the mud, and just emerges. And you hear this thundering, like... And the horses panic. Except for Gwyn. It's hard to shake Gwyn. But Batrix is attached to Gwyn, and Batrix is the wily one. And it's attached to Gwyn, and Batrix goes, "Nah, I'm running." And Batrix starts running. So at this point, we're going to enter into initiatives. So I'm going to go ahead and start an encounter. And if everybody can go ahead and roll their initiative, please, I would appreciate. All right. It looks like the bulette goes first.
Sure does.
All right. Well,
What an exciting thing.
the bulette has many targets. And I'm going to see who it's going to go for. I'm going to determine this randomly
Lies.
and see who it is. Because what it's going to do is leap. And
Bad for everyone.
Not good. Not good.
it leaps appropriately. And so essentially it's going to, it made its womp digging out charge. I'm not giving it a surprise round, even though what it did is pretty surprising, because you made the perception check. So it's using its I go first as part of the charge. So it launches out and basically leaps entirely over the wagon. And as it does, it's clawing at everything below it. So, I am actually going to say that it's swinging at the people. What is in the back? I'm going to actually... Hold on. 1, 2, 3... I got a D6 here. I'm just going to go D6 clockwise 4 times. Starting at Lumio. So, that is 1 for Lumio and 3 for Sharut. All right.
Oh, dear.
Oh no!
It's been good knowing you, old boy.
Lumio.
Yes.
Does a 16 hit you?
Actually, you did something to my AC, and
I applied the armor that you're wearing, yeah.
Yeah.
I corrected it.
You did something to my AC. I don't understand your wizardry.
It doesn't hit.
Oh, shit.
This is impossible. Take it back.
So I will, since it is going before you all, I normally it would be like, hey, combat started and it went first, but it's not a surprise round, and you guys hadn't noticed, like Delian told everybody. So I'm going to say you get your dex. It doesn't hit. So the next hit on Sharut.
Yeah.
Sharut, 26 hit you?
Yep.
Fuck.
The next hit on Sharut?
Can you roll damage?
Yeah, sure. I can roll damage for the hit that hit that's coming in. That's gonna be a dude. I'm rolling real bad.
Okay, and then the second one misses because it was
The
an
second
outlaw.
one misses. I'm gonna see if that confirms. It does not confirm.
It does not confirm.
So he
Man,
didn't
you rolled
confirm.
2 ones there.
He didn't confirm the fumble. So and then the third one for Sharut.
Oddly enough, misses.
I'm gonna see if that confirms.
Oh, lordy.
That confirms.
Fuck.
Oh God. Hang on. How much damage?
So it has done 28 and 8, so a total of 36 damage to you, as it leapt over and went rah, 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 and just starts hitting the ground.
I believe Sharut just got toadstooled by Donkey Kong.
So I either lose a hero point here to not do that damage, or I'm at 1.
It's up to you.
I think I'm gonna spend the hero point.
All right. So I'm gonna say that it basically just tears this huge hole. Like the top of the wagon is in just tatters at this point, but you have managed to not take that. And then I have two wonderful people near me. So it is going to target the 2 of them. Actually, this is not a thing from me. This is a thing from you. Delian and Forsidna need to make me fortitude saves.
Okay.
So, Delian, please make me a fortitude save. I'm going to check Forsidna's real quick, and I will roll for her.
Just base fortitude.
Gets to jump, make like a pounce, and then still attack.
It's not making the bite. It's doing a different thing.
Okay. I was just like, my God.
No, it doesn't get to make the bite.
The pounce is pretty good, though. Like, no lie.
It's also thematically super cool.
Yeah.
What do you think, Sharut? Wasn't that awesome? Kill me.
No, not cool.
All right. Delian, you have failed the save, and Forsidna made it. Delian, you are deafened. Oh shit! I popped you out of initiative. Do you remember what your initiative was?
Me?
I
No.
clicked the wrong button. You were in a 9.3. So Delian, you are.
I was near the end. I know that.
Yeah, you're 9.3. You are deafened. So deafened. Number 1, you can't hear. Number 2, if you try to do anything like cast a spell or whatever that involves verbal components, it has a 20% chance to fail. Number 3, it drops your initiative by 4. So your initiative actually updates to 5.03.
So I'm last.
So
All
you
right.
are last now. You can't hear anything. Essentially, it like lands and then it does that, again, and it's just this sonar kind of echo, just whoom, and you just get pelted by it, and then you can't hear anything.
So I hate to interject here. I'm rereading the hero point rules just to make sure I can do this, and I'm not seeing that I can. So,
It's not like a fate point where you can just be like, he didn't hit me, right?
Yeah. It's not like a fate point. Like, there's cheat death, but that's only for when you're...
Oh, so cheat death is for just when you're going to die.
Yeah, and you have to spend 2 points to do it, and I only have 1. So
I said that cheat death can just be 1 for you guys. But since you're not going to die, since you're not going to die, then yeah, you can't do it. So you're at 1. So in addition to the covered wagon, just getting the cover mostly shredded off it, Sharut, you kind of go with all the covering. You're just... and the land shark lands. At that, it is going to be Quintus's turn. Quintus, it's your turn.
Quintus suppresses his vision. That is, he goes semi-invisible.
Okay. Is that your standard?
What's it?
Is that your standard?
Yes.
Okay.
And as a move, he's going to go prone in the wagon.
Sounds good. So Quintus is like, no. All right. Forsidna will take her shield and total defense. It's not close enough for her to swing at. And, so she's just going to try to protect herself. Because it doesn't make sense that she could set up her combat patrol if the wagon's going to be moving, which it is here on Danrin's turn. Lumio, it's your turn.
I'm gonna put down a beacon on the wagon, which is gonna be the shared senses one.
So does that mean you're all deaf now?
No, I think it's the opposite. Where you can actually hear again just by being deafened. Did I lose that? Oh no, there. Oh, okay. Found my lost window. I'd accidentally covered it up. Okay. So shared. It's just shared sight. Oh, eyes and hearing.
Nope. So the thing is like you guys are sending your auditory information to Delian. Delian just doesn't have the ability to process it right now. Like he doesn't have eardrums that are currently working. You're sending him the sound. The shared senses will send him the sound. He cannot process the sound. This doesn't fix deafened. It doesn't cure the conditioned.
Okay. It still helps us.
Yeah, it still helps all of you. I was clarifying for Delian, not for you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna put that down. It cost me a spell point to do.
Okay.
I'm gonna do it as a swift or a move action.
Okay.
Because I have the ability to do that elsewhere. So I'm going to roll versus 110 for my wild magic for real quick. Oh, good. Is that so? That's a 1. That means I roll what again?
War Sphere Minors.
Just War Sphere Minor. Okay.
All creatures within medium range of the target or center of the target area share all teamwork feats possessed by the caster. Nah, nothing.
Yeah, I should get some of those, but I don't want them. They sound like a sinking pit.
Honestly,
so
if you get teamwork feats on everyone, they are incredibly useful. But nobody wants to spend their feats on that.
Yeah. So, and then I'm going to try to shoot it with my destructive blast.
All right, you're able to do all this in one round?
Yeah, because I'm the only thing I'm doing is a move and a regular action.
Gotcha. Okay, sounds good. Go ahead and make your range touch attack.
Is that still? Did I ever put that in as attack? I don't know.
I'm going to say that at this point, you can totally hit it because it is almost the size of the wagon. It's actually... It actually is the size of the wagon. Your guys' wagon is like being weird and wonky, but you have range touched it. Go ahead and roll damage.
Right. There we go. Some damage.
Well, that's 9 range touch damage.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. After that, Dandrin. Dandrin, you have basically just made it to your seat. And then...
Instead of taking my seat,
yeah,
as they're starting to kick off, Dandrin's going to leap off of the wagon and shout back to Forsidna, grab the reins. I got him.
I missed the second part of that. Grab the reins, what?
I've got him.
Okay.
Then I imagine the wagon's going to just go barreling this direction.
Yeah. So Forsidna already spent her action. So she'll.
I'm just telling her to like. So she's not. I'm not just giving nothing.
No, I understand that. So you run down. I'm going to say that's your move, and then what would you like to do next?
I would like to sunder this man's face.
Okay, gonna sunder the bite. Are you going for the bite or the armor?
I'll hit him in the armor, I think.
Okay, go ahead and give me an attack roll.
All right. Let me just double check. And before I just roll this, I want to double check to make sure that if I did it appropriately. Yeah. So let's take on my swing. Ooh, I don't think I got him.
That will not hit.
Right.
All right. So is that your whole turn?
Yeah, that's a move in standard.
There we go. All right. Well, after that, then it is going to be Sharut's turn. Sharut, you got 3 rounds of shaken, so you're at -2 to everything.
Yeah. Sharut is going to take a page out of Quintus's book, and he's going to go prone. He's going to cry as a free action, and then he's going to apply a salve to himself.
Okay.
Let's see, that's... And I'm going to ask again, it's slash roll? No. R.
It's /R.
/R. Okay. You think I'd know this by now?
We're only 40 sessions in.
Yeah. I mean, this is only the 45th session. It's not like it's way more than that.
It's not like we do it weekly.
Yeah.
Sharut's going to heal 14 points of damage and just cry.
Okay.
Luckily it's raining, so nobody can...
Sounds good.
Right.
After that, something that should have happened on Dandrin's turn, since it's his animals.
The wagon goes scooch.
The wagon is going to start moving. And there's no one at the reins right now, so it's just going to move.
I trust these horses. They seem like good people.
Okay, so Dandrin, I'm going to move you out of this group. And I'm going to see... actually, I'm just going to roll. Yeah. They go forward. And they get to about there. And then there's a point where, Sharut, as you're like... Just as you finish applying your salve to yourself, you feel the wagon sort of weirdly lurch, and you hear this loud, like... That was not quite the right sound, but fuck it. This... from one of the horses panicking. Yeah. So that'll be the end of your turn. Delian, it's now your turn. Things are going on.
Yes. I assume I can feel us moving, and then we're not. I saw people, so Delian is gonna go over, check on good old Meech, see how he's faring, and just try to calm him down, because right now he's just trying to make sense of this topsy-turvy world that he just encountered.
Okay.
He heard and then he didn't, and he felt like a blast go against him.
Go ahead and give me a handle animal check to try to calm down your horse.
Oh, I don't know if he can, but he was just seeing how he's doing.
Not great.
Not great. All right, he's gonna try.
He is the closest thing to the thing what want to eat.
Yeah. Oh, I don't have it as a skill.
Yeah. So it's a D20 plus your charisma modifier.
Neat. Which is fantastic.
Sure, it's at so many penalties right now. It hurts.
You managed to calm him down a little bit. He's still. How can I put it? So in the fear chart, there's shaken and then frightened and then panicked.
Yeah.
He was at frightened. He has moved up to shaken. So the horse is clearly still uncomfortable. It also doesn't have a choice to where it goes. It has to go wherever the ones in the front want it to go, because it's tied by its face. So yeah, it's still not in a great spot, but in a better spot now.
In a better spot, and give it some sugar or something. Just toss it at its face. That's about the best I can do.
Yeah.
That'll be me.
All right, that'll be you. After that, then, is going to be the Bulette. The Bulette will attempt to eat a Dandarin. Dandarin, does a 31 hit you?
One more time.
And both of those miss you as well?
Yep.
All right.
Smeechy, why?
Okay. So it's gonna swing at you and hit a thing and swing at you and hit a thing and swing at you and hit a thing, and it just keeps encountering this thing that's about as hard as its own forehead, and it goes. You see it just kind of shake its head, and then it goes. And can you give me a? I keep just typing I gotta roll. Can you give me a fortitude save, please? You're fine. It echoes out this huge kind of sonar pulse, and you're able to just. Ow! But you're fine. After that is going to be Quintus.
Oh, all right. Quintus. Let's see. I think this thing is reasonably far away. That's pretty distant, which limits some of the things that he can do.
You're free to close if you'd like.
That sounds like a poor decision. Okay. What Quintus is going to do is he is going to utilize his Fallen Fae and the Hedge Witch ability to gain new spheres to summon up a bag of fairy dust.
Okay.
And this fairy dust is it is blinding dust.
Okay.
It's a free action to activate the Fey Link. It's a free action for him to activate it to bring the fairy dust in, which does eat a spell point. As a move action, he can apply fairy dust to weapons, natural weapons, or piece of. It's a standard action. He can apply it to a number of weapons or pieces of ammunition equal to his casting ability modifier within close range. And so he's going to apply it to, because he's got 4 applications that he can do. The crossbow bolts in his Cherut's crossbow, and then did Leon have a crossbow, or is it just his?
I have a short bow.
One of your arrows starts to glimmer, and your Can I dust his hook as well?
His hook isn't a weapon, so no.
Okay, those are fine. Those 3 pieces of, like, everybody gets a piece of ammunition that starts to glimmer and sparkle.
Okay.
And right now, that's all it does.
Sounds good.
To clarify that's a specific piece of ammunition, correct?
That is one specific piece of ammunition, right?
Okay.
If you shoot it and you hit it, then we can start talking about what effects that has afterwards.
All right. Everybody moves to there. As damn it, I did not want to move the wagon because now everybody's under the wagon.
Scatter!
Scatter! Move it, it's the fuzz.
The bomb falls out of Sherwood's pocket, and it just goes.
In trying to, there we go. In trying to move it the way that she wanted, and pulling a certain way, the Gwyn has become stuck, and Batrix continues to panic and continues moving the wagon a little bit farther in, just and that'll be for Sidna's turn. After that is Lumio. Lumio, it's your turn. It's your turn, Lumio.
Well, now, I'm going to maintain concentration on my totem, and he's going to surveil the battlefield and attempt to understand what's going on, because it kind of looks like Dandrin's all by himself back there. And if that's the case, he might change up his tactics. So,
sounds good.
Let's see.
Is there a way to make you emit an aura?
Yeah, we got to do that thing one time.
If I do like low light, you're currently at, what is it, 70 feet of sort of reddish with a sort of pulse update token.
Oh Lord,
That's
what we want, but
that's too
a bit
much. It's too much. Let's say
Turn down the brightness just a hair.
let's turn down that the color intensity maybe. But now we can't see it. Let's.
It is pulsing. It's hard to distinguish.
Let's make it darker and make it slightly. I'm gonna go to 0.4. I feel like that's still not
Something.
We will go to 0.5. Doesn't quite do it. Whatever. The important thing here is that I want to make sure that Dandrin is still in it, and when he is and when he's not, and that sort of stuff. So you guys can still see the horror that is a land shark as Dandrin's fighting it.
Yeah.
There we go.
Ooh.
All right. After that will be Dandrin. Dandrin, it's your turn. It's your turn, Dandrin.
Right. I try and punch him right in the AC.
All right. I'm going to hit this guy right where it hurts. His armor. That'll hit.
Maybe. Hey,
how
so
much
he does
damage is
take
that?
5 damage.
5 damage?
And
that's almost 6 damage.
And his AC is reduced by 3 until he receives magical healing or a DC 15 heal check.
Wait, does that mean that if you sunder a creature to whom that would never happen. Magical healing or heal check. That it just has a -3 to AC forever? Weird.
I've broken it. I've broken its shell, or I've cracked its carapace, or whatever.
I mean, sure. After that is going to be Sharut.
I want to help Dandrin, but I think I need to wait a turn to do so.
Okay.
Shoot it.
What would you like to do?
Heal myself more. I'll put my blood back in.
I think it's hilarious if you don't help Dandrin, so, feel free.
I am going to heal myself. I'm going to try and put the blood back in my body.
Oh my god. He took all the blood out of me.
Damn it, I moved the wagon. Ah!
The boulette. It punched out all my blood.
I'll heal 12.
Alrighty. You'll heal 12. That's cool. After that will be Delian. Delian, it's your turn. You're in the back of this wagon, calming down a horse.
Yes. And seeing that things are just going to be happening, Delian's going to try to... what's my radius on that? Because I don't think I can actually get to you without getting out of the wagon. Medium range.
Medium range is 100 feet plus 10 feet per level.
Okay, so definitely. I'm gonna try to cast Dandrin to glow brightly and cast have it. Where is it? I just passed it. Encompassing light as well.
Encompassing light.
Yeah, I spend a spell point to make him get one size category larger.
Okay, so what you do is you spend a shadow point to get encompassing light, then spend a spell point to use encompassing light?
Yes.
Cool. Alright, so Dandrin...
Do I have to... Is that vocal in nature?
So it's not... actually, I believe your spellcasting...
I believe it was.
Is vocal, yes. So you need to roll me a 20% chance to see if it works.
So how do I do that? Just roll d20?
Yeah. Well, no. Roll 1d100.
Okay.
And if it works, I will increase Dandrin's dude. Yeah, you're fine there. I'm also gonna need you to give me a concentration check here.
Okay.
This is the equivalent, I believe, of a second level spell. Can you roll me a d20 and add your class level for Hedgewise, which I believe is 4, and your casting modifier. Basically, the wagon is violently shaking as this is going on.
That makes sense.
I should have been having everybody else roll. I apologize. So I'm starting with you.
Okay, I get it. I understand. Where do I find my casting modifier?
Your casting modifier, you're an intelligence caster.
Yeah.
Hold on. What is your intelligence? It is
18.
18, so it's 4.
Okay.
So it's total should be a d20 plus 8.
Yeah.
And you make it. Okay, so it goes off just fine. Dandrin becomes a large boy.
And he's able to, deal damage and gains reach. As if one size category.
Oh, so he doesn't actually become big. He just gains reach as if he were big.
And my weapons
deals damage.
Yeah. Cool. That's neat. All right. So you make Dandrin glow all big and pretty, and
it's an aquamarine, I think.
That seems like it fits Dandrin, on an instinctual level. All right. So start of the next round. The Bulette decides, fuck this noise. It's more fun to do this, and it's gonna do this. Dandrin, you get an attack of opportunity.
Come on. That's fucked up.
Was that?
You get an attack of opportunity as it just runs away from you.
Yes. I'm going to hit it in the mouth hole. I'll have to roll damage separately if this hits. Which I think it does.
26 will hit, yeah.
And then because my weapon's larger, I have to roll real quick. For 10.
Alrighty.
3 on his bite attack.
Okay, cool. So got a -3 to hit on the bite. Travis is rudely meowing directly into the microphone, guys. He tells us
I'm so sorry. It's a compulsion.
He tells us it's his cat, and we just let it get by with it. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of the lie.
Like, to be fair, his impression is spot on.
Let me tell you, I blame the Oromite.
It must have been the Oromite.
It must have been the Oromite.
Okay, so I'm going to start clockwise at Lumio once again. There's only 5 people now.
Does my visual suppression come into affect this in any way?
I'm going to say no due to its senses, because it has scent and it has tremor sense.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so being prone in the wagon doesn't help either.
No,
okay.
Being prone doesn't help because he's jumping over the wagon when he does this. He's literally it literally like leaps over the wagon and it's clawing down as it goes, and then it lands on the other side. So that is gonna be Lumio for Sidna Lumio.
Jesus.
Fuck
this guy.
Lumio, I got a +12 on you. Is a 17 hit?
Yes.
Lumio, that's going to be... sorry, that is the wrong number. That is 10 damage. I put 2d6 plus 2 instead of 2d6 plus 6.
Okay.
After
10.
that is going to be an AC of 29.
Oh, my AC increased to 29. It's going to be real hard for him to hit from now on.
For 14 damage.
Oh, no, that minute hit my face. Okay.
All right. After that, for Sidna, is going to be a 19, which I believe no shield in hand, grabbing the reins. Yeah, that's going to smack her. So she will take 12 damage. And then Lumio, there's an attack coming in for you that hits AC 18.
Ah, fuck me.
And it's going to hit you for 13 damage.
Oh, okay.
2 rounds of not being eaten. I'll drink to that.
Yeah, seriously. We'll crack something open once we're done with this.
Yeah,
Lumio goes unconscious.
Lumio goes unconscious. All right. Lumio, you are unconscious.
Unconscious and dying?
Is there any other way?
I mean, you could just go unconscious.
Lumio does not bleed to death. He is a Warforged. He goes unconscious and inert. He is inert until repaired.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like there's not a thing here for unconscious, so I'm just going to mark you as prone.
Sure. I'll take super prone.
Super prone. All right, and after that is Quintus. Quintus, it's your turn.
Fantastic. Well, this guy moved closer, which is kind of exciting, really. So Quintus, rather than shooting the arrow, throws the bag of dust, which explodes in a 20-foot radius, conveniently at a point just beyond the bullet, but encompassing it within its area. Can you please have it make me a reflex save?
A reflex save from the land shark. Let me do that for you.
Because I figured a fortitude save was probably nah.
So
fantastic. Fantastic.
Strangely, fortitude save and reflex save on this thing, not all that far apart.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's only 30 points between them.
Yeah, not much.
I mean, the fortitude save is higher, but only by 3.
He is blind.
He is blind. Okay, how long is he blind?
What actually happens here is he treats everybody as having concealment for the next 5 rounds.
Concealment for 5 rounds. Okay, so everybody has a 20% miss chance.
Yeah.
Neat. Okay, sounds good. After that, Quintus is going to be for Sidna. For Sidna, is going to keep trying to get the horses to do what she wants them to do, and she can't. She is not a pilot and does not have handle animal. So yeah, Lumio.
Yeah.
You are inert.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Dandrin. it's your turn.
Good talk.
Oh God.
So my turn will consist of
Hustling.
this. That's my turn.
Running over to it.
Whole turn.
All right. As you're getting close, it's going to try to bite you. One, and it will miss. All right. After that is going to be Sharut. Sharut, it's your turn. It's your turn, Sharut.
When he tries to bite Dandarin, can Sharut try and throw a bomb in its mouth?
Okay, so I'm going to go with yes. I think it's neat. Generally, I'm opposed to called shots because it's so easy to get ludicrous attack rolls that the penalty for a called shot is, like, doesn't matter. But this thing has a mouth the size of a horse. So yeah? Like, you're basically just lobbing it into the pelican.
Okay.
Sure. You just have to ready an action for it to make a bite attack, basically.
Okay, so I have to use it as a ready action. I can't use it during this round. That's probably better. I'm going to move away over here.
Dude, stop talking, handle your phone.
Sorry. That's my food. So I'm going to move away on the wagon if I can, which I can't for some reason. Basically, I'm going to move here.
Okay.
And then I'm going to ready an action to throw it into its mouth when given the chance.
Sounds good. Yeah, you can move over there and do the thing. Go ahead.
Okay. Do you want me to roll the attack or wait? Ready action.
No, it's fine. You can move over there. But as you move, it is going to take an attack of opportunity on you.
That hits.
For 18 damage.
Mischance?
Oh, there is a mischance.
Yeah, 20%.
1d 100. It'll hit. So you take 18 as you move across the wagon, as it gets a big glomp on you, and then cool, your turn is done, and you move and you're ready in action. All right, so we'll go to Delian.
Okay.
Delian.
If I had prepped this proper, I could have done something cool, but now I know for the future. I will then try to... Ooh. I kind of want to give, I guess, more help to my horse. I didn't prep proper, so I want to calm down my horse a bit more.
You can take a valid turn.
Basically, I want to make it so his, I'm trying to come up with words and my brain's not working. I want to make Dandarin's hammer fire.
Okay, so you want to spend a shadow point to use a
light point using Inner Sun.
Okay.
Making his weapon on fire.
Sounds good. Totally doable.
It says to create a weapon of fire that he can wield, but if you'll let me, I'll just use the hammer that he already has. Otherwise...
So this is Inner Sun. Hold on. Can be shaped into any melee weapon the user's... So, yeah, I'll say that you create it in place of his hammer. Dandarin, there's a magical hammer floating next to you. Do you grab it? Like,
sure.
A magical hammer made of fire. Sure. Like,
it's something I've done already once before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I recognize the fiery hammer from that one time.
So basically, instead of doing his normal damage, he will just be doing 2d4 fire damage.
But it does weapon damage as well. We remember from last time. It acts as the weapon and does.
It does an additional 1d4 fire damage. So it does his normal damage. Does additional fire.
I didn't read the last paragraph. You may target a weapon to grant it the additional fire damage.
Oh, wonderful!
So there you go.
I didn't read it either.
Okay, so Dandarin, your weapon now does an additional 2d4 fire damage.
Yes.
Cool. All right, and after that will be
Here, before we get into that.
Oh wait, yeah. Need you to do the concentration check.
And then I have to. How long am I deafened for? We never specified.
You will be deafened for 1 additional round. Sorry.
Okay. No, it's fine. I just wanted to make sure we do it proper.
That actually makes me want to ask a question.
Oh wait, that was wrong. No, I did it right.
Yeah, you did it right. You managed to overcome the deafness. You managed to overcome the concentration check of the wagon shaking, and you inflame the hammer of Dandrin.
Cool.
As it's been 3 rounds, am I now unshaken, or
Yes.
is that at the start of my turn?
It would be at the start of your turn. You are no longer shaken. In case I make you roll a save right now, but I don't believe there's a way for that to happen. So yeah. But now, top of the round, it's going to be the Bulette. So the Bulette is going to. Well, I mean, Danrid's right there, so I might as well swing on him. That's going to be a +10 with my bite. That's bad.
Did you say a bite?
And that's going to be... Oh, yes. It made a bite attack. A bite attack. Go ahead and give me an attack roll there, Sharut. This attack roll will be at a minus... You're calling a shot, but it's a big target. I'm going to say a -2.
Okay. -2.
Yeah.
And I believe this resolves against touch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So you're at a -2 to hit its touch AC of 10.
You know...
Which I wanna note, this is a gigantic elephant shark thing, and it has a touch AC of 10.
Yeah.
Because it has a dex of more than 10. Its dex is higher than 2 of your party members.
Wow.
Yeah, it's weird.
This is attack roll bonus. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You hit it. All right. So you light the fuse, and you see that like it almost kind of bites it out of the air. It assisted with this. You threw it at it, and it went.
It doesn't know.
Yeah, it has no idea. It thought it was eating a bird. So how many rounds did you put it for?
1.
1. Did you put it for 1, or did you put it for immediately? Because you're a fuse master. You can put it for however long you want.
Oh, I can put it for... Oh!
A fuse master can make it happen... So, like, normally with a grenade, it's you roll a d3. But if you're a fuse master, you can make it 3 rounds, or 2 rounds, or 1 round, or as soon as it hits the ground.
As soon as he bites it.
Okay, go ahead and roll damage for me. I'm not going to make a save.
I mean, internal fortitude save would be pretty wild.
Just roll fort instead of reflex.
He just tanks it. Tanks it with
That's
his
the only way
intestines.
I could see it.
You know what? Travis has convinced me.
He just flexes real hard.
And then I roll a 2. All right, so go ahead and roll damage for me.
Do you care about whether it's bludgeoning or fire?
Absolutely not.
In that case, we'll do that.
Okay, 18 damages.
Does that pass DR if it has DR?
It doesn't have DR. It's just
Travis, why are you doing this?
Because I just want to. I think it's funny that you're blowing up its internal organs.
normally if something has DR and you hit it from the inside, no, that still doesn't bypass DR. So like if you get swallowed whole by something that has DR, like usually you just die.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, I got swallowed whole by what? The gargantuan Fae. And my cold iron weapon's a greatsword. My dagger is not cold iron. Guess I die here.
That blows.
Do 15 damage to get out. I can't.
I literally can't. Okay. So after hold on. That I rolled the bite check, which I missed. I didn't roll the claws. So I'm going to roll the claws on Dandrin right now. That's going to be a 2 misses. And after that is going to be Quintus's turn.
Okay.
Quintus, it's your turn.
Quintus is uncomfortably close to this thing right now, and its mouth has just exploded, and it doesn't seem particularly fazed by that, so he's going to take a 5-foot step back into the wagon without actually representing that, because
wagon nonsense.
Because wagon nonsense.
Here, I'll move you. Hopefully if I move you, you'll stay on top. There you go.
I appreciate that. And he's going to take a full round action now to use his shadow mark against a creature without burning a shadow point. So I'm just going to use my Masterwork Light Crossbow because it's a ranged touch attack.
Okay.
Does a 10 hit?
A 10 does hit.
A 10 hits.
A 10 hits Fantastic. His ranged touch AC.
Beautiful. Okay. Well, he takes 17 points of damage.
All right. That will be a 52, 59. There we go. After that... oh, shit. There was a thing that I needed to do, and I forgot to do it because I wanted to get to Quintus's turn. Quintus and Dandarin, the two of you were the only ones that would be close enough for this. Can you both give me a fortitude save, please?
Absolutely.
Okay. So was my turn skipped then?
No, your turn wasn't skipped. We took Delian's turn, and then the Bulette, and then Quintus, and that was it. So, Quintus, you make it. Dandarin, you don't. Dandarin, you are deafened.
Okay.
So your initiative will drop by 4. You will go down to 14. Quintus, you make it, so nothing there for you.
Beautiful.
All right. After that, Quintus, so you took a 5-foot step. You did your ray.
It's a full round action to avoid spending the shadow point. So
makes sense. So what's going to happen here is everybody on the wagon is going to move there. As the horses continue to just pull and struggle against this mire of overturned mud in this overly large hog wallow that the Bulette has made. After that is Lumio. It's Lumio's turn, and then it's Dandarin's.
Andy unmuted and then muted himself again.
Sure. Do you have any alchemy, any salves left?
I have a single salve left.
You can use it on Lumio if you'd like.
Can that work? It's technically not considered magical.
I'm going to say it's alchemy, and this is Eberron, so it is.
Okay.
You're making potions. If you make a potion, you can give it to a Warforged. Might be a good time for you to make some, if you get your brew potion stuff, make some, oils of repair or something.
I'm trying to choose between brew potion and time shenanigans, but we'll figure that out.
Dandarin.
Missed.
Dandarin will miss with his big sunder on one of the claws, I'm assuming. All right, and after that, are you just staying where you are?
Since I'm large now, I'll interpose between myself and the Bulette.
So you're not large.
Shift.
You're not large. You have the reach of someone who's large, and you do the damage.
Still, I'll shift over just to make it harder for him to move around.
Okay. After that is going to be Sharut. It's your turn.
Okay. Sharut is going to move towards Lumio, and he's going to apply a salve.
Okay.
But then there's one other thing that I would like to do.
Yeah, go ahead.
The situation is dire. Give me just a second here. Or sorry, not apply a salve. Yeah, apply a salve. What am I saying? Yeah, apply a salve.
Yet another week goes by where Lumio's left out of combat.
Lumio heals 12 points of damage.
Lumio, you heal 6 points of damage.
Oh, that's a good workaround. I like that.
Well, that's how it works when you cast a heal spell on a Warforged.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's good to know.
I'm going to spend a hero point.
Okay.
To take another standard action.
Okay.
And I am... Let me adjust my Mythweaver.
I'm going to hit Lumio for 6 points of damage.
I'm gonna coup de grace Lumio.
Oh my god!
That'll fucking learn you. We don't conquer robots around here.
Okay, so I'm gonna load my crossbow with a inflict moderate wounds filled bolt vial with a flashbang attached to it, and I'm gonna shoot at the creature.
Okay, go ahead and make me an attack roll.
It
has this massive crack in its overly large faceplate. You might be able to put the bolt like right in there.
Oh, it's the start of my turn too, so I'm not
Smog the thing.
Yes, you are no longer shaken.
That changes some things. So yeah. Okay, that's gonna be this one. Yes, and then we're gonna ignore the D3 because I can't subtract it for some frickin' reason. Does a 15 hit its touch AC?
Yes, it does.
Okay, go ahead and make me a fortitude save and a will save.
Okay. That will be a... That's the fortitude save. That's the will save.
Haha.
Okay. Give me just a second. Okay. The fortitude save makes it.
Okay.
So he's still going to take the damage, but he will only be... Let's see. Fails saving throw against one of them. Okay. I think it negates the deafened and blinded portion.
So basically, I took the D8 from your flashbang, and this is the... What was it? Inflict serious?
Yeah, so it's 1d8 plus 2. So there's the damage on the flashbang.
Okay.
And then the inflict serious is, or inflict moderate is 2d8 plus 3, so I'll roll that now. And he's going to take 11 points from the inflict serious.
Okay.
Or inflict moderate, I apologize.
Sorry, that was 69 to 80. All right. Yeah, you actually do sort of nail the crossbow bolt kind of right in that area, and you hear the pop from the flashbang, and you see the liquid pour into that crack that was made on its faceplate by Dandarin's hammer, and then you see additional cracks and wounds just start appearing on this thing's body. Like places where old scars from old fights have healed up just start splitting open again as the inflict motion affects it. After that, Sharut, it is Delian's turn. Delian, it's your turn.
It's my turn. Am I still deafened, or is it...
You are no longer deafened at this point, no.
Wonderful. I'm gonna curse this thing.
Okay.
And I need to look up how to do that, because I have not yet cursed a thing. I think I marked it somewhere.
This is your Hedge Witch curse, correct?
Yes.
All
the
right.
black magics.
The black magic. All right. So, target within 30 feet. It has to make a will save of DC 10 plus 1/2 your Hedge Witch level. That's 2 plus your casting modifier. That's 4. So DC 16.
Well, it does.
So you go and you kind of shoot a shadow at it, and it just and kind of blast this sonar blast to, at the shadow, which works weirdly. So that was your standard.
Yep. I think I'm perfectly A-okay where I'm at.
Okay. Then, top of the round, Dandarin, would you like to make an attack of opportunity?
How dare you, sir?
Yes. Give me that claw. Damn it.
Okay.
The exact same roll I rolled before.
What you see is this thing like shaking its head, and you just see that sort of like black-green ichor from Sharut's arrow just kind of cresting down the hit that you made. And it sort of about as smoothly as something that's just wading into a pool just starts sinking into the ground next to you. Just kind of burrowing down until all you see is that armored fin, and then you don't even see that. It just removes itself and leaves. And that'll end combat, boys.
Oh wow.
Andrew will
It wasn't just going to stand there and die. You kicked the shit out of it.
Eberron's going to calm the horses.
Yeah, so, like, just because there's no Bulette, the horses are still shitting themselves. Smeech is doing better. Gwyn is doing worse because Batrix is still panicking.
Calm the hell down.
Yeah, you, like, kind of reach up and grab the reins, and you see that wide horse eye that doesn't indicate, like, that it's listening, but that indicates that, like, sometimes an animal just freaks out and just stands there. And it's just standing there. And as you move as close as you are, these things are about knee-deep in fresh mud. There's just so much here. So it's going to take a little bit of time to actually, like, move the wagon back and get them back.
Dandrin will pull out his pry bars and his long poles, and we'll get some leverage going.
Yeah, probably. Honestly,
I'll
probably
repair,
the best way is to tie Zmeech to the back and have Zmeech start pulling to get the wagon out as they walk backwards.
Sharut is going to start making salves while he does that.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so I will do that with Zmeech, and once I've settled the horses a little bit, I'll have them all start working together to back up the wagon and then get it back on a proper course.
While that's happening, Delian, after dealing with that, starts making a launcher.
Okay. So while you guys are doing that, you're making a launcher and Sharut's making the salves. Lumio, Frisina will go back to you and go, I'm sorry, I couldn't do anything. I was trying to get us away and it didn't quite work.
Yeah, that was not especially pleasant for me. I don't blame you in any way for what happened. It moves in ways that we couldn't counter. We'll have to think about that for the next time we encounter one of these,
Yes.
or something similar.
But I did buy something for this. Give me a second. And she's looking around for, like, her stuff, because the stuff in the back is just all moved around and wrecked. And she'll kind of, like, break off one of the bars and, like, cut around the wagon thing and throw it out. And then she finds, like, the small chest where she's keeping her thing, or her belongings. And you see her pull out a bandolier of potions.
Oh! Yes!
You seemed too forgetful to see to your own health when we went into Old Sharak, so I bought these, seeing that, there might be some need for them.
Thank you very much, Frisina. We might leave most of these in the wagon. I will, and he removes two of them and puts them in the, bracers he's wearing, where there is also still one, but he had no opportunity to use that. And noticing the Shrewd salve on him, turns to Shrewd and says, Shrewd, I appreciate your assistance earlier. I keep a number of salves of a nature that affect my kind more effectively on my arm here. Should that be required?
No,
So,
Sharut also wanted to test self, unaware if work on Warforged.
Oh, well, I'm certainly happy that it does.
speaking of which, stand still.
Huh?
Jesus fucking Christ. That still succeeds.
So, here's your arm that I took off.
That's
That's
7 points of healing, I think.
I believe that's 7 points.
Yay!
I've rolled 3 2s and then a 1 in a row.
Yeah.
That seems about right.
Ladies and gentlemen, old Dandarin's back.
He's back in it, boys! It's been so long!
He's back, boys.
A real quick check on the healing. Am I tracking negative hit points, or does it just stop at
So
0?
you still track negative.
Okay.
So basically, the way that it works for Warforged is you still track negative hit points down to your con. If you hit, but you're not bleeding. If you go to -5, you don't continue to lose. You just stop there.
Okay.
If you hit negative con, you're destroyed. You are basically rended apart.
Okay. So then I was at -4. The 6 points of healing I got put me to 2.
Yeah, they brought you back to 2.
And then 7, I'm at 9 now.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
and
I'm still feeling bad, but not very bad.
She has given you 2 5th level repair light wounds potions. So
wow!
So they heal for 1d8 plus 5, not 1d8 plus 1.
Okay.
And
About how long would you say we're backing the wagon out?
It probably only takes about 5 minutes or so. They weren't too far into it, and it's not that deep. It's not quicksand. It's just it's knee deep mud. The hard part is probably getting the wagon out. But if you guys rig up Zmeech on the back and tell Zmeech to walk backwards, like Zmeech to walk the other way, it goes pretty fast.
Mm-hmm.
So because the horses will walk backwards if it means they get out. They understand that. And Dandarin knows what he's doing. He's a skilled beast handler. So, all right. Well, at this point, you guys are able to get back on the road. And you get back on the road with the knowledge of what wrecked that wagon.
Quintus is going to take some time to sketch that thing, because
Yeah.
he's never dealt with one of those before.
Yeah.
Now we all know something new.
Basically every 15-minute interval, Sharut is going to start applying salves to people.
Okay. If you want, we can. We're probably about to take a break, so you can sort of roll just the healing of it to see how many it takes to apply, and we'll just do that during the break. Don't do it now.
Okay.
And all right, so everybody gets back on the road after some time. Dandarin sees to Lumio. Frisina gives some stuff. Quintus starts a new sketch of a Bulette. You don't really have the body to go by, but you have the size, and like some of the footprints, and you can see the wreck it's made of the cover. Which
Like in the combat, he's mostly doing like an impression.
Yeah,
So there's a lot of big mouth and plates and
yeah. It seems to dig through things that aren't stone really easily, to the point where it can do a running dive out of the ground, which Quintus knows how to burrow if he uses his magic right, but not that well.
yeah.
And yeah, once everybody's back on the road, can I get from everyone a perception check? This is an audio check, if that matters for anyone.
We are not deaf anymore, correct?
You are not deaf anymore.
Yeah.
No, that wears off after about 20 seconds. All right. So this is for sort of everyone but Delian, who is sitting at the back of the wagon and still cooing soft words to Smeech to get him nice and happy. You all hear this roar coming from the south of you as you're traveling east. It's just this, and you hear this crashing of woods and just something pretty big smashing and smashing and smashing together as you're just riding along. You all hear it, but when you look that direction, you don't see anything. And that's where I'll leave us as we go to break. So we're going to come back in, let's say, 15 minutes at 9:45, and then we'll be good to go. So I'll see everybody then. All right, and we're back. Welcome. Come on, come all. All right, so we've done a goodly amount of healing. I believe, Lumio, you're back up to full.
Aye, that be me.
And Delian didn't get hit that time. Dandarin, I don't believe, got hit that time. Quintus didn't get hit that time. Sharut, are you back to full?
Shrewd is over full. So
All
yes.
right. And did you do your doctory on Frisina at all?
Oh, did Priscilla get hit?
Frisina did get hit. She got cracked.
Okay. I did have time to make one more salve, so I could do that.
Okay.
She heals 13. Is she good, or does she need more?
She's good. She actually has a. She's got one temporary hit point now. She is floating -1 feet into the air. Okay. So, as everybody is sort of clomping along, and they hear that, for them, what made their perception checks, and I believe them what did, is Sharut and Lumio and Quintus and Dandarin and everybody but Delian this time. You are able to make out roars, and you are able to make out multiple roars. So there's sort of multiple things making these sounds off to the south. And Sharut, you are able to hear 3 sort of distinct voices. One of them sounds kind of... One of them is just loud. It just sounds like breaking timbers. Just very... The other one is kind of in the middle of those two. So, as you are all kind of continuing along, that's what you hear. And it's just happening in like this area off this way, not necessarily like it's happening to the south, but it doesn't mean it's happening in like this specific tree.
Do these sound like bugbear sounds?
No.
No.
They don't even really necessarily sound like language to you.
But they sound distinct.
They do sound distinct.
Sharut will do his best to explain what he hears, since he's able to can hear 3 voices, distinct. Strange, not saying anything, just gurgles. He's just going to try and explain it as best as he can to his companions.
All right. With that said, as you like continue to listen, actually, let me check your sheet real quick. Sharut. As you continue to listen, you actually do manage to make out a word from the one whose voice is kind of in the middle, and it's loud, and it's just this, and then it's kind of in the middle of it. You hear, "Leave me alone," in Draconic.
Sharut's gonna like shake himself a bit and just be like, "Here, leave me alone." And then he's going to speak it aloud in Draconic. Definitely. Yes.
Draconic.
Someone is being attacked. Question is, do we go see or stay on?
Where's it happening?
To the south.
Noises to south. Can we get a gauge as to how far away they are?
So, like, as the wagon is kind of continuing on, it's to the south, but it sounds closer and closer. Like, you're just hearing this cracking of timbers, and the roars of pain, and what once was clearly 300 or 400 feet away is now maybe 2.
Whatever is getting closer, even as we move onward.
We should brace for combat.
Mandarin just gets the shield on. Has the hammer next to him.
All right.
Keeping an eye on the south.
So, here's what you all see. When you get to about here-ish on the trail, off to your right, to the south, towards the mountains, you see a drake appear. It crashes through the trees. Like, literally crashes through them. It's like kind of pushing down the smaller saplings. And you see it struggling to move forward. It's just pulling itself along as quickly as it can. This drake looks to be mostly... It's very snake-like, and it doesn't seem to have really, like, feet so much as fins. And you see it just kind of pulling itself through the trees towards you. Can I get from everybody perception checks?
I mean, you can ask for him, but...
Can I get from everybody but Lumio? Damn, Quintus failed too.
Good.
I'd like to point out just how well Quintus rolled compared to Lumio.
Yeah, there's actually a little penalty here for like the constant downpour, the rain too. There's just this constant like Lumio, you do not make it. Quintus, you do not make it. But Sharut, Dandarin, and Delian, the three of you see that this thing does have wings. Like, it has its little flipper feet, but it also has wings. But you see large gashes in the sort of meat of the wing. You don't know if this thing would actually be able to fly. And the three of you, everybody sees this larger, in terms of body, green drake appear behind it. And the green drake is in much the same position as this one starts crawling forward. This one is kind of running off to the side here. And it doesn't have front legs, it just has these thick back legs. And it has its front two arms are just the wings. But you see that the webbing between the wings is just shredded. And it sort of looks behind it, and you see it go, and it just hawks out this gob of acid. And then it just continues to... And Sharut, you hear that kind of, leave me alone, as this one starts moving forward. And,
are they speaking legible Draconic?
This one is.
Okay.
This one, no. It's just roaring and shrieking. This is the one that sounds kind of like... Its speech sort of sounds like if you tried to get speech out of slamming tree chunks together. It's just so loud and so powerful, but like hearing it actually form things is really hard. And it's just... Gotcha. And then everybody sees sort of not pushing its way through the trees, but kind of gently flying and gliding among them. A long, sinuous drake that has these two long silver wings. And it almost looks slightly translucent in the rain. And you see it sort of like dodge its way around another gob of acid that's spit by the forest drake. And then it comes around and it just goes, and this area starts to crackle as it fills with a mist that then electrifies. And you hear a scream from the forest drake behind you as it tries to sort of jump over / fly over, but really just ends up messily climbing over the wagon. And this one then turns and starts going towards the other one.
Can anyone speak Draconic and ask them to stop? Otherwise, I'm going to.
Quintus can. I assume Sharut also?
Sure. Can speak Draconic.
Give me...
Quick question. In other settings, it's pretty common knowledge that silvery metallic dragons are considered good. Would that be something that would be common knowledge and or hold here?
Good
No.
question.
So actually, good question. Give me a knowledge arcana check.
Sure.
That's a knowledge arcana.
Okay, I'm going to do the same.
Yeah, you want those in general?
Yeah. If you want to know about dragons, knowledge arcana.
Yay!
There we go. That's the Quintus.
Dandris' knowledge. Dandrin touched me.
I will tell you, Lumia, with your knowledge arcana. I'll answer your question in general. Chromatic and metallic, like chromatic being always evil and metallic being always good, does not apply in Eberron. Alignment in general doesn't necessarily apply in Eberron. You can be the neutral evil priest of Kolkorin and still get spells. So there are evil silver dragons, just like there are lawful good red dragons in general. So no, you know that there's no sort of like overarching thing about dragons. This is probably the first time you've ever seen them, and you have no idea what's going on.
That's a wicked question, though.
Delian, Quintus, the two of you know a little bit more. Number one, you know that these aren't dragons.
Yeah.
Not at all. Dragons are incredibly powerful. In general, they are to be fairly well respected, and they exist, for the most part, on a different continent. These are drakes, which are like if a dragon was a hyper-intelligent horse. Drakes are... Basically, they're just really smart predators. That's what you consider them to be. And Quintus, you also know that what you have sort of stumbled into is the middle of a territory dispute. And it looks like the Mist Drake is winning and is managing to try to take out the River Drake and the Forest Drake at the same time. So, to label them, Mist Drake,
Yep.
River Drake, Forest Drake.
Do I know how these typically end? Is it like...
Oh, it'll if they can manage to get away, they'll probably just get away. But it looks like so this one isn't necessarily very fast on the ground. It's okay in the air. It's mostly a swimmer, but there's no water. This one is a little bit faster on land and a little bit better of a flyer, but it can't fly right now. So you know that with your high check. The dragons would normally consider this like 1. Or sorry, the drakes would normally consider this 1. The Mist Dragon has 1. At this point, it's playing with its food. And
Leon isn't doing anything.
Yeah, and so like what you're seeing here too is like the River Drake is crawling around the front, which are making like Batrix and Gwyn kind of like rear up, and they're just trying to get away from this one in the back. And as it's kind of like floating and flying around, real lazy-like, they just sort of keep doing this to try to get away from it.
Great.
We don't have to involve ourselves here, but we could. And Quintus will really quickly outlay, this is a territory dispute. Those two are technically on the losing side. They'll probably be killed, especially the River Drake, without intervention. We don't have to, necessarily, but they might be using the wagon as kind of a cover, and the Mist Drake at some point might just go for it.
All right. Well,
Can broker agreement.
I ask again. Could you tell them to stop or take it elsewhere?
Root, shall I or shall you?
Sharut feel fall under your expertise, but Sharut will help.
Check my pronunciation, perhaps.
Quintus says certainly. In Draconic.
Quintus is going to call out, we have no part in your quarrel. Please, let us pass in peace, and we'll let you continue on with what you're doing now, in Draconic.
More guttural.
We have no part in your quarrel. This is very difficult.
No, this is Hagrid.
I don't see why they're fighting in the first place. It's clearly not necessary.
People, please, let's just come together and hate others.
If I nearly have respectable noses.
For the sake of mercantilism, please.
So I'm going to say it's a diplomacy check. You're not diplomatizing all of them, though. You're essentially diplomatizing the Mist Drake. So sure. Give me a diplomacy check at, I'm going to say it's a -2, because it is very content in its position right now.
Okay,
am I able to assist this?
Yeah, you can assist with it.
Also, does my Masterwork tool assist with this?
The clothing?
The very fine clothes that I have.
Sure. I mean, so drakes are still dragons, so it thinks that like
look how resplendent I am.
It thinks that shiny things are neat.
All right, excellent. Okay, that probably
Sure,
works.
assists.
So that's a net +2. Come now, there's no reason for us to fight, or for us to get in your way or impede your dispute.
The Mistdrake kind of moves close, and it does this thing where it has this really long neck, and it kind of cranes the neck up and around for Sidna completely, and she's just sort of sitting there.
Quintus will step up. He's the one who's talking.
And then it puts it into the wagon
until
its face is next to yours. But, like, you're looking at its eyes, but you see that it has a good 20, maybe 25 feet of neck coming in. And it kind of, like, nods a bit, and it says, "They get a stay. No executions for 1 minute. If they take flight before then, they live. If they don't..." And you hear Forcinda kind of... And you hear this creak of, like, her armor kind of pressing together. "All die." And it slithers its head back out. And it doesn't, like, go the whole way around Forcinda. It just sort of, like, lifts its neck up. And then it sits here in the front, just sort of doing the pendulum little cobra move with its head in front of Gwyn.
Well, Sharut, you heard what the River Drake is perhaps the worst off?
Sharut's already like hopping out of the of the wagon.
Quintus is gonna jump out too.
He's gonna move towards the River Drake and say calmly, "I am going to repair your wings. Try to stay still, and you will fly soon."
All right, Shrewd. I'm going to tell you what you need here. You need to give each of these guys 45 points of healing.
45, you see.
45, I say.
However,
they
it's only 90 total, that's fine!
They are panicked and jittery and bouncing around and just, like, looking like they need to just get away the whole time. You are going to be at a -6 for your check.
So Quintus can assist with this directly and give them each 5 hit points.
You just give them 5?
Well, so he's going to activate Pixie Sticks from Fallen Fae, which I can feed to a willing creature to heal them for 1 hit point per caster level. They can only consume that once every 10 minutes. So each of them gets 5 hit points maximum from it. But it's down to 40 each.
So it's down to 40 each. All right, it's 40 each, and you're at a -6 because they're just jittery and panicky, and also
Andrew?
You've never healed a dragon.
The ability is called Pixie Sticks.
There are multiple abilities. One is I can summon a Pixie Stick, which is a wooden weapon that I can use to hit things with, or I can stick pixies, which summons creatures of the plant type, or I can summon Sugar Sticks, which heals when you eat them.
You lost Noah there.
Nope. Okay, so at a -6 for heal checks. Okay.
And while he's doing that, Lumia wants to try to calm the Forest Drake.
Okay, cool. So while he's healing the River Drake, you're going to try to calm the Forest Drake?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's let Sharut take his thing. And
so just for simplicity's sake, I'm going to roll it at a minus... You said -6. So I'm going to roll it at a -21.
Okay.
That way, whatever the result is, we can just multiply it by 2 and then add 2.
Sounds good.
Let's see. Okay, so that's 24.
Okay. You're down to 8 rounds.
Okay, and then we'll do that one more time. That is 16.
Okay. The dragon's flesh wants to be mended back together. The hard part for you is actually finding something that can sort of pierce the webbing here to hold it together. But once you kind of have it with your surgery ability and your knowledge of alchemy, you're actually managing to pierce the webbing a little bit. The Drake does not thank you. It doesn't do anything other than just push off the ground as soon as you go, like, say that you're done. It will actually potentially push off the ground very violently here. I need you to make a reflex save. That's the better way to do this. Can you make me a reflex save? Your DC is going to be a 14.
Oh my god.
Nice.
Very nice.
Okay. So yeah, it pushes off the ground, and it's sort of like its tail is this sinuous thing that about 3 feet from the end splits into two, into like these pair of weird sort of thin blades. And as it lifts off and it flies around you, those crack right next to your face, and you dodge out of the way, manage to not get cut a little bit, and then it just vanishes off to the north real fast. And as this is happening, the forest drake is just looking around, like panicking. Lumio, you said that you were going to try to calm it down. Can you give me an idea of how you're doing that?
So, Lumio has been on the battlefield before, and he's probably led charges where everyone knew it was certain death. And so he wants to appeal to the kind of warrior spirit that this drake clearly has, and the pride that is in its bones, and get it to put aside its the terror of a hatchling, and hold still, so that he might live to see and fight and hunt another day.
All right, give me a... Do you speak Draconic?
I do.
Okay, give me a diplomacy check. Mm-hmm. I'm going to put you at a -2 for this one. Okay. Because as you're doing this, the Mist Drake is still just kind of slithering and circling around the whole group.
Cool. Get some.
All right.
Nice.
So, Sharut, you have 6 rounds left.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
I mean, he's gonna walk up to the forest drake and be like, in as calming voice as you can do in Draconic, say, I am going to repair your wings.
Maintain halt, coward.
Others.
I like yours better.
Maintain halt. Okay. And then we'll do some Healy checks. Has he calmed down a bit, or do I still get that -6?
It looks like he's calmed down a bit, but he's not completely calm. So the -6 turns into a -2 instead.
Okay, so that's going to be a -17. Okay. So that's going to be 28 plus 2, 30.
All right. Can I get everybody in this area to give me a reflex save? DC, if it matters, is a 16.
Saves reflex. Yeah.
And for Dandarin, if you could roll me one D20 plus 5, and Delian, if you could also roll me one D20 plus 5.
Sure.
All right, Dandarin, you're fine. Delian, you're fine there. Okay, so your horses both save. So Sharut, you save. Lumio, you save. Dandarin, you fail. Quintus, I don't see a roll from you. Oh, there it is. Quintus, you fail as well. So everybody that failed takes 16 points of damage. Everybody that saved takes 8. Everyone who failed is also knocked prone. So I believe that it is Dandarin and Quintus are knocked prone. What you see happen is the... sorry, what?
No,
Delian, you also... Sorry, there were a lot of rolls. So Delian, you are also... you take the full 16 and you're knocked prone. What you see happen is the Mist Drake breathes out this cloud of... or this like ball, this just little cloud, and it hits a spot, and it fills with fog. And as soon as it fills with fog, there's like this crackle of electricity in there, and then you all feel this thunderous like boom, and you all take, it's basically like a big punch to the face of bludgeoning damage, and it kind of as it continues to circle. So Sharut, you healed that Drake for, I believe it was 32 points?
It's 30 points.
All right. And then that Drake will make a save of 1 sec. It will actually make it, so it's dropped back down to 22. You need another 18 as this thing circles.
Charut is going to fight his to swear. Oh, great! It's right next to me. That's nice. That's real nice. Let's see.
And as you're standing there, the Mist Drake's tail starts sort of wrapping around you, but you see its neck reach out and start wrapping around the Forest Drake's neck.
So he's trying to focus on his work. He's a little distracted, but not much so that it's going to pull his concentration away. And he finally patches up the webbing and basically smacks the Forest Drake and says, "Fly!" in Draconic.
And you see it try to pick up immediately, and it like lifts up and then just gets pulled back down in a very, like, it's just a kind of embarrassing fall as its neck just wrenches towards the ground. And you hear in Draconic the Mist Drake say to it, "Don't stop until you get to where the rain ends." And then its head uncurls from the Forest Drake. And as soon as its neck is no longer around the Forest Drake just picks up real fast and is just out. There's kind of this, it's still raining, so there's not like a whoosh of dust, but you guys just get splattered by a bunch of rain in the face as it picks up, lifts off, and just disappears. And the Mist Drake kind of tightens its tail on you and pulls you a little closer and a little closer and a little closer, and it moves its head down to you. And as it talks, it opens its mouth a little bit wider than you were seeing before, and you're seeing like all of these little trails of fog actually manage to stay, like they're hitting the rain and they're not just fading away. And inside you see that kind of like swirling mass of mist and fog that it just hit you all with a moment ago. And it lowers its face and it goes, "Leave."
Charut will answer, "We shall leave your territory immediately."
And then Charut, you find yourself in the wagon. It just lifts you up and just kind of puts you there.
Lumia wastes no time getting back in the wagon.
Same.
Charut's going to turn to Dandrin. "It's time to go."
And
his pronunciation in Draconic, by the way, is impeccable. Like, how can you speak Common so bad, but Draconic so perfect?
So Dandrin's going to get the wagon going, and as they're leaving, he's going to be like, "Everyone who's got a ranged weapon, keep it trained on that thing. I think he's a jackass. I think he's going to go back on his word, whatever it was. Don't behave like that if you keep your word."
Charut don't think it best to provoke. These are his wood now.
I mean, he's going to be my goddamn shirt if he doesn't back off.
He's going to be my shirt if he doesn't. My. Don't you look like fancy pants I'm wearing tomorrow.
Just keep wagon going.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
And, Dandrin, you called it. There isn't another explosion on you all, but it is clearly just kind of tracking behind you a bit on the road. And it's just kind of like you guys are going down the road, so it puts another like fog cloud with a little thunderclap over here, and then you guys are going down the road, so it puts one over here. And it does it for 2 or 3 minutes before it seems to get bored, and then just wheel and turn in the sky a little bit and start moving back towards the south.
Charuts need to check. People know they got hurt. Delian, come here.
I'm not. I don't know how big this wagon is. I'm just right here. But okay,
it's a big wagon.
So this is a large wagon. I can't for some reason make the token work. It might be the shape that I picked. I don't really know. The wagon is a 10. I want to say it's a 10 by 20. So it's 4 squares long and 2 squares wide the whole way down.
Yeah.
So
I've been in a 10 by 20, so it's somewhat sizable.
yeah, it's sizable, but it's not like you're too far away. But yeah, still.
Yeah.
So Sharut, you're gonna heal everybody up again.
Yeah, basically. And for this, I'll just do I'll just do the heal check
Okay.
as I can. So who's hurt? Tell me.
Dandrin's a little hurt.
Same. Is a little hurt.
Daintily hurt.
I'm
Dandrin.
not going to worry about it.
Yes.
Dandrin, you heal 42 points.
I feel fantastic.
Yeah, anything you get that temp HP.
And he's never felt as good as how he do right now.
Sorry, that was 42 points you said?
42 points of healing, yes.
The last time he felt that good, Gruddock was alive.
Brilliant.
I'm gonna go kill a Drake to make myself feel better.
Turn it around. I'm gonna go make him into armor for Chronic.
Sharut has actually learned to put spice mushrooms into his healing when healing Dandrin. Just to calm him down a bit.
It's so good.
I just drug him with hallucinogens so he feels better than himself.
Works every time. Dillian. Also, heal 42.
Oh, wicked, thanks.
And then Quintus. Quintus is going to heal 20.
Perfect.
I will note 2 other fairly important members of the party that you should probably heal.
Yeah.
Shoot the horses.
The horses.
But you'll probably need to stop the wagon for that one.
Yeah.
And for Sidna, yeah?
For Sidna's fine.
Okay.
For Sidna and Gwyn, we're actually outside of the explosion.
Okay, so it's just 2 of the horses.
Yeah, so it's you have to heal Zmeech and Batrix.
Zmeech.
Since these are not people, I'm assuming I'd take a negative.
Yeah, I'm gonna put you at a -2 for your veterinary. You're not quite the vet that you are the doctor. Still good though.
Do you want the number?
Nah, I'm just gonna take that for both of them, and those 2 are actually doing better than Gwyn now, and Gwyn thinks it's unfair. It's not. It's not right.
Sharut gives Gwen some food because he understands.
Yeah. So you guys are at this point you know that you're most of the way through this this forest. It actually is a fairly fast route, even if you account for getting a little bit lost due to something slamming into trees and that the fight with the Bulette and with the nonsense that the Drakes have caused. You're still going pretty quick. There is a point though when you see you're sort of passing a spot where it looks like there has been a fight recently. And by it looks like there has been a fight, you're noticing like bodies on the ground. And you don't see a wagon. You just see the remnants of some sort of fight that happened pretty recently, if you can sort of judge by the condition of the bodies that you're passing.
Do they have faces?
They do have faces.
Good.
Does it look like a bear bug attack?
A bugbear attack?
That one.
No, bear bug.
No, bear bug. No, bear bug.
I'm going to make you guys run into bear bugs at some point, and they will be horrifying.
They sound dreadful.
Bugbears. Oh my god. Is that a bugbear riding a bear bug? We're done for.
Oh, sweet God.
It's time to run. Yeah, time to run.
I'm gonna make a coat.
They do not appear to be bugbears. That's about the most that you can get unless you actually stop to examine them. But you can tell that they aren't bugbears because bugbears are, number 1, just fuck off huge, and number 2, hairy. And you don't see that on any of these.
Okay.
So, Cameron's gonna do the same thing. He's gonna look around, see if it looks like an ambush spot, see if he sees those whirling mud puddles.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a perception check. All right. Even taking in the penalty for a pretty heavy rain. You do not think that this is an ambush. You think that it maybe was, but you don't think that it is. You're looking around and you're like, well, I don't see anybody.
All right. So Dandrin will stop the wagon, and he'll check the bodies, get their identification papers and such.
All right.
Sure. Sharut will join him.
Okay, Sharut, give me a heal check at a -2.
At a -2.
And Dandrin, if you would like, give me a perception check, also at a -2.
See another fin.
All right, so Sharut, what you are able to put together is that these things were dead when they attacked and were then put down. These are not just the corpses of the dead. These are the corpses of the undead. They have certain traits, like one of them is like a dead human male, and he'll just have this exceptionally long tongue and really sharp teeth that your normal human male does not have. One of them will be like heavily bloated, almost as if it's like sort of like a body that has been laying in the water for days and days instead of just for the couple hours that this rainstorm has been here. So it's just you're looking at them and it's like these were dead before they got killed, which is weird. Dandrin,
Yes.
so like with that information, it's really weird though, because it doesn't look like they had much in the way of wounds before they were killed. But they look terrible. Like the clothes are just rotted and just terrible. But like you're not seeing a ton of wounds. You're not even seeing a ton of rot on the bodies. But the clothes look god awful. You see that they have like one of them will have like a vest that just has like bones sort of sewed into them, and the vest looks all like gugh. You are able to sort of looking at this and thinking back to what Dali had said, realize that this is probably some of those guys dressed up as undead.
Now have been made undead and then killed.
Yeah, that's kind of what it looks like.
Hey, Delian,
Yeah.
I got something you might like. You know those bandits what pretend to be the undead?
Yeah, my pals.
Yeah, it looks like someone made them into actual undead and then killed them.
Well, that's probably not what they wanted.
Sharut don't think so either.
Do I
imagine that wasn't
recognize either of them?
Yeah, you recognize one of them. Not like as the leader or anything. It's just somebody that you encountered when you were in the woods, and they came out like all bone rattly, and you went, "All right, guys, I'm not falling for this." And they were like, "Nah, fuck."
I know. Like, I feel like Delian would be kind of pals with these dudes. Like, I respect your game. I respect the gimmick. But come on, guys.
Yeah, you recognize the guy with the long tongue and the really like sharp teeth is a Brailish man named Pol, like Pol.
Yeah.
And he was just one of the ones that originally ambushed you. But he looks very dead, killed by arrows of some sort.
Poor old Pol. Like, honestly, he was the most ornery of them all. That's why I liked him so much. It's a shame he went out this way, but I can tell you, last time I saw him, he didn't have such a weird-looking face. But maybe they got more bones, well, that's a shame. Same about both of them. Hopefully they, get reburied? I hope the rest of the skeleton crew's doing alright, but I guess not.
Sharut's gonna go ahead and just start searching the bodies.
Yeah, the bodies don't have much. You find a couple of knives, and you find a number of arrows, but that's about it. Like,
yeah, they don't really carry a lot on them. They usually just take it back to a hideout.
Yeah.
Foolish when in woods.
That way they can't get counter robbed. Honestly, it's quite brilliant.
You've activated my trap card. I play counter highwayman.
Yeah. No, we got more guns. Give us your stuff. Beans.
Deline, it sounds like you've put a lot of thought into this.
Oh, I chatted with them for a bit, honestly. It was,
And then I counter-out them.
and then, well, no, as you just saw, they have nothing on them.
Yeah, Deline, you know that if they encountered any resistance of any kind, like any sort of armed resistance, they just
they run.
They just ran. They didn't ever fight.
Yeah, the men after my own heart. They just tried to scare people away with ludicrousy. And if it didn't work, they're like, oh, too smart. And then they left. It was very good. Honestly, those people were meant to be robbed if they would run away from fake skeletons like that. Like, not all of their costumes were even that well put together.
Yeah. Well, we tried.
Yep. Well, hopefully, if we encounter any living members of the skeleton crew, I'll just tell them poor old Pole passed.
All right.
Right.
And the group continues on. It's just more just terrible trudging. Can I get everybody to give me a fortitude save against the absolute trash weather? For those who put on their cold weather gear, you get a +2, but you're still very
traveling
wet.
cloaks help.
Traveling cloak will give you a +2, yeah.
Oh, well,
So
I guess
I
a
put on
14
my
for me.
cold weather gear, but I'm still wet. So what was that? That was a minus.
So you get
It's
a
a
instead of getting a
+2.
+5 for the cold weather gear, you get a +2.
Okay.
All right, Lumio, you are fatigued. Sharut, you are now exhausted. Quintus, you were fatigued before, weren't you?
Yes, I am now exhausted.
You are now exhausted as well. You guys are just sitting there, and it's just miserable being out in this. And it would be so much better if the wagon had a cover. But there was a shark, you see. And so you're just sitting there, just getting rained on
Could I
for hours.
jury rig a cover?
Dantarin, can you repair the cover?
So Dandarin
About
has
45 minutes tonight when we stop.
Yeah, he has spare wagon wheels,
Uh,
but that's it.
I have canvas and I have rope and I.
So, with everybody good and weakened, let's put you into the next scene. Give me just a second here, and I'll drop your tokens. And let me just make sure this is global illumination. Boop, boop. So you guys are more or less coming out of the woods here. Has everybody got it loaded?
Yes.
yes.
Cool. You guys are
Boy,
all,
a river.
it's quite a river. You guys are sort of coming out of the woods, and you see the river. You know that as soon as you cross it, you will be. You can actually, if you look, and the rain kind of lightens up just a little bit, you could actually see Kinrun from here because Kinrun's on a plateau. But with the rain, you just can't. But yeah, you see a river in front of you with sort of the remnants of a stone and wood bridge. And as you start moving forward, the water swirls and whirls and whirls. And then sitting on it, as if in a throne, is a woman who, gosh, she just looks gorgeous.
God damn it.
She is just physically curvy in all of the ludicrous ways that a fantasy artist can draw a curvy woman. She is lightly blue skinned. She has sort of blue-black hair with ears that go up in slate little fins. She is not wearing much except for this shawl that's kind of draped around her, which is very wet at the moment, and Oh, for those who are sort of into that thing, it's real nice. And so I need for at the moment it would be no one actually. No one has to make a save.
Crawling to the back of
no
the
one
wagon.
has to make a save on this, but for Dandarin, Lumio, and Delian, you have never placed eyes on a more beautiful creature. And so you're just staring at her, and she is just everything you could possibly want in a mate. Which, when you can kind of draw your eyes away and move them to her face, you see that she looks furious. She is angry.
This is just like, as he's crawling, he's like, no, it's her. Oh, God.
Her face is just twisted in rage.
That's a good tribute.
No, I said her face. Her feet are twisted in rage. They're on backwards.
That's what I heard, and I was confused.
No, her face is twisted in rage.
Yeah, because you can't twist feet. That'd be weird. Definitely not what Lumio's into.
Oh no, my fetish. Jesus.
Howdy, man. We're the Soggy Bottom Boys. It's been raining a lot.
Dander's gonna look back at Quintus. Quintus, what's a good tribute for this?
No, she's the one you've already angered. She's...
Yes, okay. What? A tribute.
No. You have to make amends before you can make tribute. And he's he's trying to just wedge himself under things.
Alright, well, what's a good gift for making amends?
It depends on
I
where
make things, damn it. Give me a project to work on.
She's a river. It depends on where she comes from. You should ask her.
Julian's gonna blind himself.
Okay.
Sets himself on fire.
Quintus is like, I can't even stand at this point. If you want me to talk, you'll have to hold me up.
That's not what it is. Does she speak the common tongue by any chance?
And you hear this very melodious answer come from the very angry-looking, gorgeous woman, who says, "Yes, she does." And she kind of moves her hand, and you see the water over here start to take shape, and it turns into it kind of attains the form of sort of a snake-like creature, and then it gets a humanoid form, and then it becomes kind of a drake or a dragon or just something long, and then it goes back to being a humanoid. And then you see her do the same thing over here, and this one does the same sort of grow and twist, and basically a pair of water elementals have appeared. And she says, "You, driver, forward.
Alright, give me a second.
She's going to try to kill you.
I know.
Fool.
Well,
I know.
Yeah, Dandrin, why do you think Dandrin's taking a minute? He locks his gauntlet on his shield arm.
Okay.
And then he's gonna... Let's see. I don't think it would... Yeah, Knowledge Local wouldn't have, the customary thing, right? If this is, a known thing in the area, that you need to appease the river to go through, the river spirit, would that be, a local custom?
Yeah, if it's a local custom, then yeah.
Okay. So Daniel's going to try and... Oh, no.
I mean, that'll do it. So you know that there's... Oh, so on my screen it showed the 20 and not the 2. So to check over and see that it's a 2. You have no idea. You're not you've only been here for a couple months. And you've been mostly in New Seer. You haven't really been in Brayland proper too much. You don't really know these backwoods customs to appease local spirits. She will sort of wave her hand, and you hear her murmur out something in a language that sounds sort of like.
I could listen to that all day.
And the two creatures start to move this way.
Oh no!
And then, as they do, she waves a hand back at the water, and you see another one appear. And Dandarin, her throne of the river carries her closer, and I need you to make me a will save, please.
Sure. Is this some kind of magic?
It is not.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Oh, and you make it. That's a hell of a 19.
Well done, sir.
So there's this thing that happens as she gets closer, and you get closer. You reach a point where you literally, like, you feel the presence of her pressing everything else out of your mind. She literally becomes the focal point for you. Like, she is all that you can see. Everything else just fades away. And that stubborn dwarven willpower, you just shake it away. And, like, that's not how it should be.
I will commit it to memory.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a statuette of this.
And
this one's all mad at him.
You and your pornography!
It's going to have clothes on. Jesus Christ, I'm a professional.
Yeah, but you added them later, didn't you?
So as that's happening, Dandarin, as you're moving closer, Delian, this sort of like weirdly flowing man made of water. It doesn't have a head.
Yeah.
But it does kind of have a face in the rapids that are churning within its torso.
Oh, I don't know any of this.
Oh shit, you can't actually see it. It reaches a hand out for you. Like I guess the rest of you in the back of the wagon see it reach a hand out for Delian. And Delian ignores it. And it just reaches a hand out. And then it kind of like moves it sort of flicks you feel a few drops of water just land on your face.
Do I? It's still raining,
oh shit,
right?
It's still raining.
Yeah, I feel it a lot, all the time, constantly even.
So actually, what happens is it sort of like holds a hand out to you, and then nothing happens, and it flicks its hand, and it's raining, so you don't notice it. And then it just tries to pick you up. Like it just picks you up.
What's happening? Oh god!
It's a monsoon!
It picks you up like a misbehaving child, and it starts roiling its body over this way, and it puts you down on the beach. And Quintus, as that's happening, this one moves back, and it does the same thing to you. Actually, you're on the other side, so this one would move back and do the same thing to you.
Can't struggle. He has an effective strength of 2 right now.
Well, see, the thing is if you go with it, it doesn't seem like it's just going to grab you, but it does hold a hand out to you.
Yeah, like Quintus will let's say, well, I suppose this is as close as we're going to get to an audience. I need some help. And then in Sylvan, he'll say, I need some help. And then he'll reach his hand out.
Yeah, and this thing happens where it reaches a hand out for you, and it almost kind of cradles you, and then you realize you're not cradled, you're just inside it with only your head sticking out.
Quintus will say, I realize that this may end poorly, but thank you.
And you're just sort of there. A tiny baby swaddled in a water elemental. And it moves over, and it places you down next to Dandarin. And then it will move back, and it will offer the same hand to Lumio.
Thank you. And Lumio will step down.
And when one of them gets close to Frasidna, she just, I'll do it. And she kind of like locks the brake of the wagon and gets down and looks at the elemental, and she goes, hell of a day, huh? and it doesn't really have a head, but it still sort of nods. And then Lumio, you are helped to the shore, and then Sharut.
Sharut will hold up his hand, shake his head, and tighten his cold weather gear. Hey, tired of rain, tired of wet, cold.
So it like holds a hand. You say this, it holds a hand over you as you're walking, but it doesn't help much because it's still a water elemental. So you're not getting rained on, yet you're still getting dripped on. And at this point, Delian and Lumio, can you both give me will saves, please?
Sure. Do I get any pluses to it?
Oh shit, Delian, you can't see her. Never mind. Lumio, can I get a will save, please? Delian was like, I'd rather just die not knowing.
Honestly, is that the most Delian thing?
Yeah.
It makes sense.
It's actually, I think, 2 better than that.
Yeah, you rolled.
That's not with the cloak, but
gotcha. The thing that I described before that Dandarin managed to fight off, you don't. She is all you can see. She is fascinating in her beauty. In the way that she still has form, but sort of moves like water. And you find yourself sort of taking a step forward every now and then. Just like you gotta be near her. You gotta move a little bit closer. And when you get close enough, she'll move back, and you see the water kind of. Well, I guess the rest of you would see the water kind of do this. Lumio probably wouldn't even notice, but the water
I wouldn't either.
Rises up and holds you there, so you can't move forward anymore.
Oh, well, that's good. Hate to drown.
Right. You and your no lungs.
And what were you saying, Dendron?
Well, sorry to have offended you earlier. I genuinely didn't know there was a spirit in the river. Somebody, he stares at Delian, who doesn't know he's being glared at, forgot to mention it. So, how might I make amends? And he'll hold up a hand. My life is not something I'm willing to give as amends, but something else, perhaps. Service or tribute?
I don't plan to take your life, traveler. You have a strong beauty of your own in those gnarled fingers. I can tell that you're going to spread my tale. All who see your work will be able to visualize it in the telling. But a price must be paid.
Of course, that's what I've just said.
Too
Name
long.
your price.
You and yours have corrupted my river. And now that corruption spreads. Until such time as it's cleansed, you will not be allowed to cross.
Where's the corruption coming from?
The Northern Bay. You will approach on that shore and cleanse it. To assure myself that you do not attempt to escape, I'll keep one of you here as hostage. And perhaps your conveyance as well. Since you can't cross, you won't need it.
Well, if you don't mind me, do you know about how far away this is?
Three rapids, perhaps 4.
Right, that's on me. I didn't specify. Right, Northern Bay, some form of corruption, cleanse it. All right, not a problem. for the sake of the horses, and whoever's staying behind, can I give instructions to your elementals to set up a tent so that they don't die? Freeze to death?
If you wish to build a shelter for your servants, this I would allow. But none of you may take part in it. The rain shall be your penance as well. Too long have you humans, and dwarves, and vicious elflings and artifices poison the land. It was better when it was only his kind. And she kind of levels this finger at Sharut. And as she does this, the rest of you just see that she's pointing at Sharut. Lumio, you feel intense jealousy. She's focusing on him and not you. It's just, it wrenches your heart.
Who's kind? Who's kind? What's happening?
Sharut agree. It was much better.
Now he's going to have that inflated ego for the next week. Right. And Dandrin's going to explain to the elementals how to set up the pavilion tent.
She'll actually allow you to set it up. Like, the elementals won't do it. She'll allow you to set it up.
Sure.
The elementals are elementals.
Set it up and guide the horses in. And I'll put the wedges under the wheels, make sure the brakes parked and all that. Basically make sure the horses are safe and out of the rain.
And she kind of moves back and forth. She's occasionally doing like small twirls, or the water sort of roils with new waves coming down the river. And she says, "This inlet is surrounded on 3 sides by my rivers, and to the south there is only the mountains with the vicious beasts within. If you do not accomplish it, I assure you, you will die here."
Andrew's going to take a step forward and just, I understand that you don't trust our kind, but I said I was going to do it. I am Dandrin Soranath. My word is my bond.
And she'll kind of shake her head a bit. She says, "Soranath, the waters know this name. Those waters are far from here. It's unimportant to this land. You're a foreigner.
Yeah.
All of you stink of the corruption. I can already smell it upon you." And she kind of like... And then she locks eyes with you, Quintus. And she says, "Except for you. You stink of Thelanis, of Shalis Tirith, of the courts."
I did make my home there for some time, or at least a temporary one.
"Then a brutal kindness. You may pass, if you wish." And you'll see that, like, all along this path, the waters literally recede. Like, she's parting the river. And then she says, "But only you."
Quintus is, like, sitting boneless, like, almost unable to hold his head up. And he just starts laughing uproariously. He's like, I could crawl my way across your riverbed, finding the sharp of your stones and tasting the algae on the bottom, but I think it would be doing us both a disservice. You mentioned one must stay behind, and at this rate I'm of no use to them. Perhaps my company somewhat less grating than others you might find.
So you see Frisidna taking a sort of a few kind of dumbfounded steps forward, and she says, "I will stay if I can." And the Naiad says, Yes, I think you will. I choose this one. The rest of you may go. Your quarry is to the north. Rend the corruption from my rivers, from the swamps that take of them. Don't return until the job is done.
Would you provide some information about the corruption you see? Can you put it into words that we might know it better when we find it?
It spreads, and should you fall to it, that just increases its spread.
Is it the undead?
And as she says, that just increases its spread. Sort of like the river seems to just grow until the whole of the bank is water. And
it's just gonna pull Lumio back.
What?
And
Delian, take a few steps back.
The elementals all kind of disappear beneath the waves, and you see as the waters grows and grows. She becomes vaguely translucent until she disappears altogether.
Shroot's knees give out.
Lumia watches the water for a time still.
Endrin is going to set up his pack and his cloak, and he's going to basically put Sharut in a backpack. He's going to have Delian climb on him, and he's just going to pick up Quintus. He's essentially going to walk there with his cloak, kind of pushing Lumio along the way as he's protecting the three small party members as if they were children.
Yeah, because one of them's blind, one of them's terrified, or one of them's blind, and the other two are exhausted. So you're just carrying all of Team Tiny.
I mean, I could just hold your hand.
Yeah, Quintus is like, I haven't been carried like this since I was a child.
You were carried like this moments ago.
Not like this. That was different. That was wildly different.
Sharut, do you like a good backpack ride?
Golfing, then carrying, it's not quite the same. Still a fascinating idea for...
My blindness will
Furniture of all
disappear
things.
eventually.
Sharut fishes out the item that they picked up in Ulsharak and puts it on the hunter's harness of grace to make it go faster.
Sharut, ride Dandrin. Yes.
All right. Yeah, and you all start moving to the north as your horses just kind of stand there in Dandrin's gigantic bivouac pavilion, and Frisina stands there at this point thigh deep in the river, just kind of looking at it and looking at it. And
Dandrin will call back to Frisina.
Let me fucking talk, you piece of shit. And as you guys finally leave view, she will just kind of hang her head, turn, and walk towards the tent. And that is where we'll pick up next week, as the group goes to cleanse the corruption. So, at this point, thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you all next week. And,
Good night.
Good night, everybody.